It's Wednesday, December 17th.
It's my sad duty to report that there are still 23 people in New South Wales hospitals this morning.
As the recovery continues, charges have now been laid against the surviving gunman accused in the Bondi Beach attack at a Hanukkah event.
This case is heartbreaking and deeply personal, not only for the Reiner family and their loved ones, but for our entire city.
First-degree murder charges are being laid against Nick Reiner for the murder of his parents, Rob and Michelle.
It's kind of ridiculous that we've come to this, but people are working together, pitching in, and helping each other out when they need to. So that's been nice to see.
Town of Outlook is currently in a local state of emergency. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Good morning and happy Wednesday.
Heater just kicked on in the studio, which is something we're going to need today.
Yeah, exactly. Temperatures aren't so bad down towards the south at least, but we are talking about a blizzard that's making its way into the province. We're going to start seeing some freezing rain here in Regina in about the next hour or so.
And hovering over that Maple Creek area right about now.
Yeah.
So stay safe if you're out there, if you need to travel. Let's get over to your headlines. We'll get to full forecast in just a moment. Charges have now been laid against the surviving suspect in Sunday's mass shooting at Bondi Beach. This is happening as Australia's New South Wales Parliament is being recalled to address tougher gun laws.
On the 22nd and 23rd of December, the government will call back the New South Wales Parliament to deal with urgent legislation that we believe is required pre-Christmas to keep the community safe and ensure there's unambiguous laws in place when it comes to public safety.
One of the reforms up for debate is the proposed limit on the number of firearms a licensed person can own. We know one of the two shooters accused of killing 15 people had his firearms license and legally owned 6 guns. As for the surviving suspect, the 24-year-old was charged after waking up from a coma at Sydney Hospital yesterday. The charges include 15 counts of murder, 40 counts of causing harm with intent to murder, along with a terror charge. Authorities say the attack was inspired by the Islamic State group. The NDP in this province has renewed its call for an investigation into foreign farmland ownership in the province. The appeal is being made to newly appointed Agriculture Minister David Merritt. The NDP is echoing concerns from some producers that illegal transactions may be slipping past the government's review process. The previous minister said there is no evidence to support that claim. The NDP hope the new minister will take a different approach.
We're calling on this minister and this premier to finally step up and act against illegal foreign farmland ownership. We're calling specifically for them to launch an independent public inquiry to get into to the bottom of this issue.
Or high non-compliance.
The government says a review by the provincial auditor found no instances of unauthorized foreign ownership of farmland and the appropriate safeguards are in place. Regina budget deliberations continue at Henry Baker Hall. More than 80 delegates speaking over the past 2 days of discussions as a hefty tax increase is being debated by councillors. Donovan Mace with more on what councillors are hearing today.
Regina Civic Workers Union says the city is now paying for past transgressions.
You can go back to what I'll term is like the original sin of Pat Fiacco, starting to put in like 0% mill rate years.
The union believes years of previous cuts on the council floor have led Regina to a 15.69% forecasted mill rate increase just to maintain the services it currently provides. But Cantello says it should go even further.
Cities need to provide more for their residents, not less. That 18%, the 18.93% increase is a vote for Regina.
But not everyone is on board.
You're going to put people on the street. End of story.
Other organizations say the forecasted tax hike is unsustainable.
Everything's going up. Everybody wants a piece of the pie. Well, there's no more pie to get. And you're looking at borrowing money from the taxpayers.
While local business advocates say an increase of this magnitude could be catastrophic.
You're putting that risk now on the businesses to have to survive that potential tax hike.
What's a reasonable mill rate do you think you could handle commercially?
I think as suggested, probably between 5 and 5.5%.
Yet the recognition vibrancy comes at a cost.
So you do support keeping those within our budget, even if it means a higher rate?
If it is aimed at downtown vibrancy, we're all in.
More than 80 delegates speaking in person in front of council over the first 2 days of deliberations, with an additional 160 written submissions as well. Councillors will now trudge into the depths of budget debate with 139 budget reduction options potentially on the table. Donovan May, CTV News, Regina.
Out of Outlook is currently in a local state of emergency. Jeremy Dodge following this story for us. How long have they been without water?
Well, Daryl, it's been more than 24 hours, and this is because of a potential break-in at the town's treated water reservoir. RCMP say an unknown individual or individuals broke a lock at the facility in the early hours Monday morning. Maintenance crews are in the process of removing the compromised water and sanitizing the reservoir. The town is providing residents with water jugs as it works to resolve the issue. Community members are instructed not to use the water for any purpose or even attempt to treat the water themselves.
It's kind of ridiculous that we've come to this, but people are working together, pitching in, and helping each other out when they need to. So that's been nice to see.
Anyone who may have security footage of suspicious activity in the area has to contact police or Crime Stoppers. Well, the new year will mark an end of an era for Saskatoon's bus barns. The former home of Saskatoon's transit fleet in Caswell Hills set to meet the wrecking ball. The bus barns date back to 1913 when they used to store streetcars. In 2017, the city moved transit to the Civic Operations Center near Montgomery Place. The city says the now vacant building is too old and updating it to current safety standards would be too expensive.
But I think the city is looking forward to a new use for this location. Because we haven't been in there, it doesn't really offer a lot to the community and it doesn't offer a lot for civic operations. So with a new use, it could revitalize that area.
The building is scheduled for demolition in the spring. Daryl, a number of drivers caught driving under the influence in a recent blitz.
106 Saskatchewan drivers caught under the influence of alcohol or drugs during a recent RCMP enforcement operation. It ran from the 1st to the 7th of December. Saskatchewan RCMP traffic operations were conducted around the province as part of National Safe Driving Week and National Impaired Driving Enforcement Day. During that week, officers stopped 4,446 vehicles, issued 1,161 citations, and removed 106 drivers from the road for alcohol or drugs. 930 drivers were cited for speeding or aggressive driving, 126 for distracted driving, I think that number is low, and 105 for driving without a seatbelt. RCMP say impairment was a factor in 30% of all fatal collisions on Saskatchewan roadways in 2025. The federal government is announcing new regulations to cut methane emissions from the oil and gas sector.
These new enhanced oil and gas regulations are designed to significantly cut methane emissions by over 304 megatons from 2028 to 2040.
The Environment Minister says new landfill regulations will also cut 100 megatons of emissions by 2040. The government also announced nearly $16 million in investment for 9 methane detection and measurement projects across Canada. People in Regina offering their condolences to the Allen family. Trevor Allen was the architect of the Allen family lights you're seeing on your screen. For more than 5 years, Allen put on festive light displays, whether it was Christmas, Halloween, or Remembrance Day. The bright and colorful displays would draw thousands of people each year. People in the area say the light shows have had a lasting impact on the community.
Oh, it's great. It's wonderful because it brings everybody together, from families to myself. Every time I drive down the street, I put it on my radio, and it just gives you that boost and gets you that Christmas spirit, where sometimes it's hard. And I feel for the family going through this at Christmas time, and I hope that everybody rallies around them and helps them out in any way they can.
Allen's daughter says he was a man who loved bringing joy to people and wishes to carry that exact magic in the future by continuing the displays. The Chabad Jewish Center of Regina held their annual Hanukkah celebration at the legislature last night. There's the premier lighting the menorah. The members of the Jewish community gathering for the 20-foot menorah lighting, marking the third night of Hanukkah. The ceremony brought people together to reflect on tradition, community, and the message of light, throughout the 8-day festival. During the event, Rabbi Simmons also acknowledged the tragic events at Bondi Beach in Australia, emphasizing the importance of love and kindness. All right, Kayleen Sawatsky, we're going to throw things over to you. I know you got a lot to get to. Let's start in that southwest corner.
A lot to get to today, but the southwest corner, as you just said, already seeing some of that freezing rain this morning. So Environment Canada has issued some alerts, a yellow alert this morning indicating a risk of some freezing rain down towards the south, the central zone. Not really going to be seeing that freezing rain, but we are talking about the blizzard, and that's the other alert that Environment Canada is warning about this morning. That's going to be hitting mainly in the afternoon hours. So this really is the calm before the storm this morning. We're at -6 in Regina. We have some cloud cover to wake us up, and winds not nearly as strong right now as what they are going to be later on in the afternoon. They're coming in at 13 kilometers per hour right now in Saskatoon, -16, so it is colder through the central zone. Some cloud cover again to wake us up, and winds coming in right now at 22 kilometers per hour. Let's take a look at this future cast, though. This is what you're going to want to pay attention to. So this is current right now. We're seeing some rain around Swift Current, some freezing rain as well. That's that pink color you see, and just a little bit of those flurries already starting. Now into the afternoon hours, though, we're going to see this spreading a lot. You can see on your screen right now, we're expecting the freezing rain to be reaching Regina in about the next hour or so here. So if you have to get out and travel this morning, the earlier the better. Regina is going to be getting a little bit of a break there. You can see how the system curves around it. This is around 12:45 p.m. At that time, we are going to be seeing some of those flurries through Saskatoon and parts of the central zone. Yorkton also going to be seeing some of those flurries, still seeing some of that rain, though, down towards the south into the early afternoon. And then as the rain starts to disappear on the radar here, we see the snow expanding. It's about this time, though, that we are going to be seeing some very strong winds. I'm going to show you that on the wind board in just a minute here, but this isn't just going to be snow. It's going to be blowing snow, and at times we're expecting visibility to get near zero on the Trans-Canada Highway. It's not going to be an ideal day to be traveling on that Trans-Canada Highway. The last little bit of the system we're going to see down near Estevan. This is tomorrow morning about 4:45 a.m. and then by 6 a.m. we should be free and clear from that system entirely, but we just got to be prepared for today. How much snow? Well, we're expecting most of that to be falling around the Parkland region. Yorkton, about 34 centimeters of snow by the end of the day today. Saskatoon and Regina right now we're projecting about 12 centimeters of snow, about 11 for Swift Current, 12 for Moose Jaw. And then tomorrow morning, we are going to be seeing those numbers jump by just a few centimeters in some places towards the south. Wind gusts, definitely something you're also going to want to pay attention to today. Some purple even coming into the southwest corner, and that could indicate winds up to about 80 kilometers per hour. So again, if you are going to be driving on the Trans-Canada Highway today, that is going to be impacting your commute. Today's forecast in terms of the temperatures, not so bad. Many of these down towards the south are above the seasonal average. But again, keeping in mind that the wind is going to be making it feel much colder.
Your thyroid is a small butterfly-shaped gland in your neck that produces hormones that regulates the body's energy levels, metabolism, and heart rate. According to the American Thyroid Association, about 1 in 8 women will develop a thyroid disorder in her lifetime. While thyroid cancer is rare, it's often curable when caught early. Doctors at NYU Langone Health say diagnosing thyroid disease is sometimes delayed because symptoms can be vague, like weight changes, hair loss, fatigue, or mood swings. These are signs that can be easy to miss because you might not immediately associate them with a thyroid issue. If you've been feeling off for weeks, ask your doctor about a simple blood test. Early detection can make treatment easier and help you feel like yourself again. With this Medical Minute, I'm Michelle Franzen.
Health Report, brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Blue Cross, protecting your health since 1946.
In case you missed it, thousands of festive runners dressed up as Santa Claus for a good cause in Kosovo. People of all ages joined in to raise money for local hospitals and charities, helping people living in poverty. It was also meant to be a family event, so everyone was on the move for a great cause.
That's a lot of Santa Clauses.
Man.
Yeah.
Did they provide the suits?
A lot of people to check
They
the
all
list.
have the same suit, yeah.
How embarrassing. They all showed up wearing the same thing.
Oh, no. Well, one of us has to change.
Oh, no. At least they're having fun and doing it for a good cause. Hey, question of the day is, we've previously asked what is the worst Christmas song. Now we're going to the positive side.
Yes. So what is that favorite Christmas carol or Christmas song? I know everybody has a few. For me, I've talked about it a couple times, but Old Toy Trains makes me cry every time.
I'm going to test this theory. I really am. JD, what about you? You got anything that stands out to you?
I am a fan of the Frank Sinatra version of Jingle Bells, but I think broadly I really like This Christmas.
Oh, okay.
That was on the list of the among the worst, actually. Remember last week I read
what does everyone but me know?
I don't know. Who knows?
What about you?
How about Elvis's Blue Christmas? That'd be fun, right? Blue Christmas is a good one. Shout out to my mom would have loved that song. We want to hear from you, though. Text your name and your answer to 10400. Just scan the QR code on your screen. We'll share your answers throughout the morning. Let's take a look outside on Regina before the snow hits, and we'll get a shot of after later when it comes across. Eesh.
Hello there, Kara Wagland inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Tuesday. And for it, we take you to Pittsburgh. Oilers and Penguins, we've seen this one before. Connor McDavid picking up a whole lot of speed past center ice. Blows by all four Pittsburgh defenders. Undresses his former teammate Stuart Skinner. I mean, just an unbelievable goal from McDavid, using that elite speed we know and love to break through and finish off in style. Add that to his already long highlight reel. It is your must-see moment from Tuesday. And coming up tonight on TSN, we have World Juniors pre-competition action. We have Canada taking on Sweden. Puck drop for that one gets underway at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. That's all for now from SportsCenter. Have a great day.
Some of the best curlers in the world are in Saskatoon right now. And our curling guy, Blair Farthing, has the details now.
A massive curling event here in Saskatoon at Merlis Belcher Place, and here to tell us a little bit more about it, Corey Kohutch, one of the co-chairs of the organizing committee. Big thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you. Pleasure to be here. These events are so much fun, and it's great to be part of these. Have these events come to Saskatoon.
For those that maybe aren't aware, what exactly is the Grand Slam of curling? A lot of curling fans, they think things like the Brier or the Scotties, but this is the Pro Tour, so to speak.
It is. It was founded, I think, early in the middle of 2000s, and it was just the whole idea of it was to try and make the sport more professional. It's always been amateurs. There hasn't been a whole bunch of money, and it takes a lot of money to curl, like all these teams. If you don't have sponsors or whatever, so you're trying to treat it more like a professional organization, and the Grand Slam has done a great job of that.
What's it mean to you, being the manager of Nutana Curling Club, the GM, to have an event like this in Saskatoon? A lot of people consider this to be curling country in Canada.
It is, and it's been such an honor to be part of it. We're so excited when these players come and they come and curl at our clubs and train at our clubs, and then to see them all out here, here's the best in the world right here, and they're in Saskatoon. It means a lot to the curling fans, and the nice thing about Saskatoon is no matter what, I know that the Grand Slam, Curling Canada love coming to Saskatoon because they know what they're going to get. It's always going to be a first-class event.
Yeah, well said. Anything else you want to add?
I'd just come down all week and support these athletes, and like I said, it's the best in the world. We're going to be here all week, and join the fun.
All right, yeah, this running until the weekend here at Merlis Belcher Place.
Forecast is brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zones safe. If you're heading out to catch the bus in Regina, we're at -6, -16 in Saskatoon, though winds not quite as strong right now, but they are going to be getting stronger into the afternoon hours. By lunchtime in Regina, we will be seeing some of that freezing rain, -1, and then sticking at -1 until final bell. East winds could be coming in up to about 60 kilometers per hour at that time, and we are expecting the snow to have started by that time down in the south. We're going to start seeing that snow a little bit earlier on in the afternoon for Saskatoon. Right now, though, we're at -16, just clouds up in the sky. Pretty soon, though, a couple hours from now, we're going to start seeing that snow coming down, winds increasing, -13 at lunch, -14 by final bell. Again, seeing those stronger winds and that snow. As we go to break, here's a look at those gas prices in Regina. The common price is $124.9. The lowest you might find is $102.9. In Saskatoon, the common price this morning, $113.9. The lowest you might find is $107.9. Over to the farm markets now, where we find the street price of canola at $536.32 per ton and the futures price at $611.30 per ton. Amber Durham wheat now sits at $282.27 per ton and red spring wheat at $241.70 per ton. And the Canadian dollar trading up this morning. It's now at 72.74 cents US. A little later this hour, we'll meet the winner of Season 8 of MasterChef Canada. Stay with us.
Welcome to your morning Saskatchewan. It is 6:30. Weather is the big story on the day. We'll get to that in just a moment. First, we begin with Ottawa's new Buy Canadian policy now in effect.
What we're looking for is meaningful economic activity and Canadian content as we evaluate contracts and bids for federal contracts.
The policy puts the priority on Canadian products and workers for federal contracts. To count as a Canadian supplier, a company needs to have more than an address in the country. It needs to have meaningful economic activity in Canada. The first phase of the policy applies to contracts worth $25 million or more. A warning this morning about U.S. travel. New data shows more Canadians are being caught up in the immigration crackdown.
From what I've seen, we're looking at very minor criminal infractions, but sufficient to attract the radar of U.S. enforcement.
There you go. According to the numbers released by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, known as ICE, more than 200 Canadians have spent time in custody at some point since January. That's compared to 137 people in 2024. At least 6 of those detained were children. Experts say in the past, Canadians would have been denied entry into the United States or sent back to Canada rather than being detained. Nick Reiner is expected to make his first court appearance today to face murder charges in the death of his parents.
Every single inmate goes through a medical clearance before they can be transported to court. Every one of them. Okay. And that's a process. It's just a procedural issue. And he has not yet been medically cleared.
Nick Reiner is facing 2 counts of first-degree murder. Officials say he was arrested without incident a few hours after the bodies of Rob Reiner and Michelle Reiner were found in their home. Police say a knife was used in the killings, but didn't confirm if a murder weapon was found. There is also no word on a possible motive. If convicted, the charges carry a life sentence or the death penalty. Alberta Premier Danielle Smith is calling Ski Canada's decision to no longer hold events in the province disgraceful. Her post on social media says, in part, Skate Canada's refusal to hold events in Alberta because we choose to protect women and girls in sport is disgraceful. We expect they will apologize and adjust their policies once they realize they are not only compromising the fairness and safety of their athletes, end quote. Skate Canada's decision is a response to Alberta's law on transgender athletes.
This is what organizations have warned about, and really this is an incredible hit to Alberta's economy. Tourism and sport is really important in Alberta.
Alberta's law blocks transgender athletes aged 12 and up from competing in amateur sports. Skate Canada will only stop holding national and international events in Alberta. Figure skaters from the province can still compete in Skate Canada events. A woman is in hospital with life-threatening injuries after being struck by a driver in a vehicle Tuesday morning in Regina. Police were called to Cress Street near the Longman Crescent intersection around 7:30 yesterday morning. Officers determined a pickup truck struck the woman walking on Cress Street. The driver immediately called 911. The area was closed to the public for several hours, and police continue to investigate. An update to a story we brought you yesterday about a goalie whose gear was stolen in Saskatoon. We shared his story, and there's been a powerful showing of support for the university student. Within hours of that story airing, Hudson Edwards' mom received 6 offers from strangers wanting to help. One was from Toronto, a man who had extra equipment. Another from a dad who lost his son to suicide and wanted to give his goalie equipment to a good recipient. The Edwards family says the support has been a reminder that there are good people in the world. Bonnie Stevenson, who lost her son to an impaired driver, also reached out. It resonated with her because her son was a referee who loved the game.
The story caught my attention instantly because we always kind of look for little things like that might fit appropriately with helping. And so it didn't take me long to find her on Facebook. And so I popped her a message last night and I offered to make a donation. And
the family says they're now working through the offers to figure out what Hudson will need to get back on the ice, and they're grateful for every message, call, and donation. They're still hopeful the original equipment may turn up. Despite an earlier strike by Canada Post workers, all letters mailed to Santa will make it to the North Pole. Canada Post says the millions of Canadians who write to Santa Claus with their wish list will get a response this year. A month-long strike by more than 55,000 postal workers last year meant Santa couldn't respond to letters. But this year, things are back on track after Canada Post and the union representing mail carriers reached agreements in principle after 2 years of bargaining. While many people still have a ways to go on their Christmas shopping lists this year, some Canadians are choosing to spend more on experiences over physical gifts. Stacey Hine with why.
Christmas shopping is in full swing, but some gifts won't be placed under the Christmas tree. After surveying 1,000 Canadians nationwide, real estate services firm JLL found more people are choosing to spend more on experience and entertainment gifts and less on material goods than in previous years. Here in Saskatoon, some residents say experience gifts leave a lasting impression.
My parents did bring me to a play at the Barn Playhouse as part of my Christmas gift, and that was a great experience, so love that.
I prefer an experience gift, I think, because I think sometimes we get caught up in materialistic stuff.
Others say they've mostly stuck with physical gifts.
It's mostly been physical gifts. I tried to do the experience ones for my nephews more.
But no, I haven't, but it's something I would certainly consider, or I wouldn't mind getting.
The JLL report also found respondents plan to spend, on average, more than a third of their Christmas budget on experience and entertainment gifts. JLL says after years of spending on material goods following the pandemic, more Canadians are turning to experiences they find more rewarding.
People have done a lot of spending coming out of COVID on fashion items. They've done a lot of spending on their homes. More and more people are seeing the opportunity to get that intrinsic reward for their consumer spending.
Experience gifts can include everything from cooking classes and local entertainment to movie passes.
So the experience is really customized for what that person wants to go and enjoy and the type of experience they want to have.
They can also mean a local getaway, like a stay at Blackstrap Glamping Resort.
And it's a gift of an experience. You get to experience the nature in Saskatchewan and a different sort of rental accommodations that people normally might not think about.
But whether it's a gift or an experience, what matters most is the thought behind it. Stacey Hine, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Warner Brothers is expected to reject Paramount's hostile takeover bid. Multiple reports say shareholders will be told as early as today to vote against the $108 billion U.S. offer. Warner Brothers is said to be rejecting the deal because of questions over financing. Paramount has also lost Jared Kushner, U.S. President Donald Trump's son-in-law, as a backer. Warner Brothers has a deal to sell to Netflix for $82 billion U.S. total value. The Moose Jaw Warriors snapped their 6-game winless streak last night.
Here's Seminole, backdoor, Lejoie scores!
Mathieu Lajoie has got the party started just 2 minutes in, and the offense kept on clicking as the Warriors beat the Kelowna Rockets 6-2 last night. It's the Warriors' first win in their last 7, and this was their last game before the Christmas break. We turn our attention to Kayleen Sawatsky in the Weather Center, and before we do that, we got to take a look at the roads because it's an evolving situation, Kayleen. You now see between Gull Lake and Tompkins, almost the Herbert area, Trans-Canada travel not recommended because of ice. That's all those lines in blue on your screen, and it's just going to get worse.
Yes, and this is going to be expanding today. Those areas that we're seeing the travel not recommended, it's only going to get worse from here today, folks. We're also going to be seeing the strongest winds today right around the Trans-Canada Highway around Swift Current. Could be gusting up to about 80 kilometers per hour. So it's not just going to be snow this afternoon. It's going to be blowing snow. It's not going to be an ideal day to be taking those roads. Now, let's take a look at these current temperatures, though. They're not so bad. The temperatures aren't going to be what we're concerned about today. It's going to be the winds, and it's going to be the freezing rain, and it's going to be the snow. Current temperatures way up north. Yes, they are cold to start the day. Stony Rapids at -40, -24 for La Ronge, -17 right now for Prince Albert, -15 for Melfort and Hudson Bay. Down towards the south, we are seeing some positive temperatures right now. Swift Current at 2 degrees, 2 degrees for East End, 2 degrees for Assiniboia, and 0 degrees for Estevan. That just means with the warmer temperatures down towards the south, we're going to be seeing some more of that rain today. And as temperatures are dropping, it is going to be turning to that freezing rain. Swift Current, again, right now seeing some of that rain, some freezing rain to areas to the north of Swift Current slightly, and then of course some of those flurries already starting. Regina, it's not going to be long before we start seeing some of that freezing rain as well. All that pink spot right over top of us. This is at about 7:45 a.m. And then we start seeing those areas expecting the flurries expanding. Saskatoon in the early afternoon, you'll start to see some of those flurries falling. Down towards the south, still seeing some of that rain. As we make our way later on into the afternoon, the areas impacted by rain shrinks, but the areas impacted by the snow is going to grow, and the system is moving rather quickly from west to east. Continuing on into the evening hours, still seeing some of those flurries around Saskatoon and Regina, Swift Current and Yorkton. So central and southern Saskatchewan really going to be blanketed by this blizzard this afternoon and into the evening hours. Yorkton is where we're expecting most of the snow to be falling, so be prepared for that. And the last little bit of the system is still going to be impacting areas down in the southeast around Estevan into early tomorrow morning. By about 6 a.m. though, we should start to see that fully out of the province. When we're talking about the winds, though, they're going to be quite strong today. Those areas lighting up in purple down in the southwest corner, areas even farther south than Swift Current, there going to be seeing the peak of those winds. But the Trans-Canada Highway right around Swift Current, between Swift Current and Regina, it's going to be very, very windy today. Today's forecast with the temperatures, again, not so bad in the afternoon, keeping in mind the average is between -8 to -9. Swift Current up to about 3 degrees this afternoon. Moose Jaw 2 degrees, Weyburn 2 degrees, and Estevan 2 degrees. Again, we're going to be seeing a lot of those winds, though, and a lot of that snow. Your forecast showing that we're also going to be followed tomorrow with some of that Arctic air. So temperatures dropping rather dramatically. Tomorrow, Regina going to be seeing about -21. No more snow until Friday, though. -22 on Saturday, -18 on Sunday. In Saskatoon, again, seeing some more of that Arctic air tomorrow, cooling things down. -22, -13 on Friday with some more snow on the way. -25 on Saturday and -25 on Sunday.
Studio decorating provided by Sticks and Doodles, Regina's Christmas ornament warehouse.
Canada's Master Chef is Veronica.
Veronica Wu from Toronto, Ontario is this year's Master Chef Canada and takes home a cool $100,000 along the way. And we're just glowing in the victory this morning with her as she joins us live from her home. Thank you so much for doing this, Veronica. How does it feel to finally hear winner of Master Chef Canada?
Hi everyone, I'm Veronica. It feels wonderful. It has been a wild journey to compete on MasterChef Canada, but overall it was such a pleasure. And meet all the season 8 cast. I watched the last episode with my friends, filled with lots of support and love. Couldn't be a better experience that I can ever ask for.
So what did you learn about yourself along the way, Veronica?
things. I think one of the most important aspect that I learned about myself is how I performed under pressure. I think my time management was pretty good throughout the competition. I adapted really well, and then I met a lot of new friends, and I challenged myself, brought my creativity throughout the competition. Many great things.
You are beaming, of course, into Saskatchewan, so forgive us. We were cheering for Andres along the way. And, I know you understand that. What was he like to cook with and next to?
For him too. Andres, he's great. I think Andres is doing so many great things. We worked together on the Blue Team Challenge. He was, doing a lot of noodle knead, and Andres is so nice, so kind in person. He also draws just during downtime. He just doodles on his notebook, which is really cute. And it's amazing to see what he does with his students in his community. I think it's so wonderful to have Andres being part of the season as well.
All right, Veronica, so what's next for you?
Next for me, I do have a couple things planned. I think one of my culinary dream is to open a cafe or a brunch spot. That's something that I think I'm trying to figure out. But next year, I do want to take some time off to learn more about Chinese cooking, and just to bring a lot of the flavors back to Toronto, and maybe work under a few professional chefs to get more professional training. Hopefully one day I'll be able to open my own restaurant or cafe, and then open the doors to whoever that supported me along this journey.
Well, congratulations to you and your family, and good luck with the rest of the way, Veronica.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Studio decorating provided by Urban Farm Girl Boutique and Home Decor.
It's December 17th, and we have these milestones to share with you. We'll start off with a big happy birthday going out to Nicole. We hope you have a fabulous day with lots of love from everyone around you. This shout out coming from your mother-in-law, Sherry. And turning 11 years old today is Avery. Happy birthday to you. All of the best in the year ahead from your mom, dad, and Emery. And 1 year older than that, happy birthday to Amelia, marking her 12th birthday today. Your mom sent in this photo to help start the celebrations this morning. Enjoy your special day. If you have anything that you would like to celebrate, send us an email to yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca. Make sure you send those in at least 1 day in advance.
Milestones, brought to you in part by Hardin & House Chocolates, because tradition isn't just what you do, it's what you share.
President Donald Trump has ordered a blockade of sanctioned oil tankers going into and leaving Venezuela, ratcheting up pressure on Caracas as the U.S. builds up its military presence in the region. Venezuela is completely surrounded by the largest armada ever assembled in the history of South America. That's what Trump wrote on social media on Tuesday. The move boosted oil and metals prices along with stocks in Europe. Ottawa and Ontario are set to sign a deal Thursday that will reduce the regulatory burden on large projects, including the road to the Ring of Fire, according to the Canadian press. Provincial and federal government sources, who are not allowed to speak publicly, say Ottawa has agreed to eliminate any repetitive work on its impact assessments on large projects. A source in the Premier's office, who's not allowed to speak publicly about the yet-to-be-announced deal, says the changes will dramatically speed up big projects across the province, including roads, highways, and mines. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
Did you drive to work or did you skate to work? Because my neighborhood's pretty icy.
I could skate in the parking lot, and then the drive-in actually wasn't too bad. So it's multifunctional. On the way home, I'll probably grab a net, set up a little shinny game in the parking lot, and it's going to be good. It's going to be all fun. Actually, we're going to the ice level today, too. We're asking you, what is the most ridiculous thing you've seen someone spend a decent amount of cash on? Because over the weekend, we talked about this yesterday, too. We were in Winnipeg for a Washington Capitals game, and the guy beside us, there was two guys beside us, and they had 8 seats for themselves. on like ice level too, really good seats. And what did they have in those 8 seats? Not people. No, they printed out Ovechkin cardboard cutouts of his head and had 8 of them just posted up in those seats beside them. And we were figuring out afterwards, we're like, that has to cost them like $3,000-$4,000 for those seats just to throw down that prank and then also watch their team get destroyed with us too. But I appreciated it. At the same time, I could not wrap my head around spending that much money for that one.
This close to Christmas, too. My goodness. All right, Chase. Well, glad you made it out of that parkade finally. We'll see you again next hour.
Maybe, as long as I don't get lost in another parkade.
Just wants to spend Christmas with the family.
Is Daddy coming home with you? We'll see what Santa and Mommy can do.
Fox is going all in on the "Is Die Hard a Christmas movie" debate. This new 30th anniversary trailer highlights just about every Yuletide reference in the classic action flick.
It's a time of miracles, so be of good cheer.
Christmas caroling usually happens door to door, but in Belfast, it happens in the pub.
Won't you come down, my love? Won't you come on the street where the drink flows like water? Where else would you be?
They're known as the Shamrocks, and these men can sing. The group of 5 started singing their original Christmas song, Christmas in Belfast, while sitting in the corner of a local pub. Great way to get everybody in the holiday spirit and maybe get some attention for the next album.
I know that some people would not like this, going to a pub. I would love this.
Oh, yeah. Whole bar starts singing too? That would be great.
I just want to sing along. I love it.
JD, what do you got for us?
Sorry? Am I supposed to? I'm not hearing. Am I supposed to be doing something right now? What's going on?
Technical glitch, Gremlin. We love this delay from Saskatoon to Regina, so let's blame it on the weather. These cute pumpkins are looking for homes.
Roll it out into the pasture. Pick the best one from the batch. Let's all
Oh, we got to send this to the SPSA or SP in Saskatoon and the Regina Humane Society. What a gourd way to get some dogs adopted.
This is delayed, I feel. We should have been seeing this around Thanksgiving or Halloween.
Yeah. Anytime's a good time for pumpkins and pumpkins.
Okay, all right. That's fair. You're correct.
All right. Let's try you, Kaylee.
All right, well...
See if our delay here is good.
Okay, well, here's a tip on how to make the most mundane chore fun. Just add some lights.
Oh.
And see, just like that, a chore is like a rave.
Yeah, get after it.
You're having fun. It's a party now.
Forgot to light up runners in the dryer and just have at her. Right soundtrack makes any video fun. We're back after this with those road reports. My goodness. Welcome to Wednesday, December 17th.
We're calling on this minister and this premier to finally step up and act against illegal foreign farmland ownership. We're calling specifically for them to launch an independent public inquiry to get into to the bottom of this issue.
The NDP has renewed its call in this province for an investigation into foreign farmland ownership.
It's kind of ridiculous that we've come to this, but people are working together, pitching in, and helping each other out when they need to. So that's been nice to see.
The town of Outlook currently in a local state of emergency.
We have a couple competitions here obviously in Saskatoon and one in Steinbach in the new year. So to get some good competitive games in against the best teams in the world is always nice for preparation.
And the best curlers in the world are in Saskatoon. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen, and we have a lot to talk about today in the Weather Center.
Yeah, let's give you an updated road condition report. Travel not recommended are the lines in blue, and that's stretching now from beyond Herbert, all the way almost to Caronport, down to Gull Lake this morning, and all around it.
And the radar now showing that that system is approaching Moose Jaw. So if you're waking up with us from Moose Jaw, the freezing rain should be starting very shortly here. Be prepared for that, Regina, in the next hour or so.
All right, so be careful on your way to work. Let's get to your headlines. We'll get back to Kayleen. We got extra weather time today. Charges have now been laid against the surviving suspect in Sunday's mass shooting at Bondi Beach in Australia. This is happening as Australia's New South Wales Parliament is being recalled to address tougher gun laws.
On the 22nd and 23rd of December, the government will call back the New South Wales Parliament to deal with urgent legislation that we believe is required pre-Christmas to keep the community safe and ensure there's unambiguous laws in place when it comes to public safety.
One of the reforms up for debate is the proposed limit on the number of firearms a licensed person can own. We know one of the two shooters accused of killing 15 people had license for firearms for 6 legally owned guns. As for the surviving suspect, the 24-year-old was charged with after waking up from a coma at the Sydney hospital, facing 15 counts of murder, 40 counts of causing harm with intent to murder, along with a terror charge. Authorities say the attack was inspired by the Islamic State group. The NDP has renewed its call for an investigation into foreign farmland ownership in the province. The appeal is being made to the newly appointed Agriculture Minister David Merritt. The NDP is echoing concerns from some producers that illegal transactions may be slipping past the government's review process. The previous minister said there's no evidence to support that claim. The NDP hope the new minister will take a different approach.
We're calling on this minister and this premier to finally step up and act against illegal foreign farmland ownership. We're calling specifically for them to launch an independent public inquiry to get into to the bottom of this issue.
Or high non-compliance.
The government says a review by the provincial auditor found no instances of unauthorized foreign ownership of farmland and that appropriate safeguards are in place. Regina, budget discussions continue here today with more than 80 delegates yesterday speaking to councillors about its operating budget. Civic workers saying Tuesday that past transgressions are catching up with the city.
You can go back to what I'll term is like the original sin of Pat Fiacco, starting to put in like 0% mill rate years. Inflation is a thing, it always has. Your mill rate needs to go up every year so long as inflation exists. That's it. It's not like every time you don't, you're putting in a debt against all of the things that the city exists.
Hi, Bill. Thanks.
Council has forecasted a 15.69% mill rate hike in front of them this week. The City Workers Union adding it would like to see tax increases to nearly 19% to enhance services in the city. On the flip side, local business advocates say the potential increase could be detrimental.
You're putting that risk now on the businesses to have to survive that potential risk or that potential tax hike. So, you know, how we divest that risk and create as fair and equitable of a risk diversion as we possibly can, I think that's the approach that council would be prudent to take.
The city hopes to complete delegates this evening with deliberations to continue into today. The town of Outlook currently under a local state of emergency. Jeremy Dodge, what's going on there?
Daryl, a potential break-in at a water facility in the town of Outlook has caused a local emergency. Hallie Mandrick hit the road to find out the details.
The town of Outlook is currently in a state of local emergency as residents have been without water for more than 24 hours.
It's been crazy. You don't know how much you appreciate having running water until you don't have it.
It's because of a potential break-in at the town's treated water reservoir. According to RCMP, an unknown individual or individuals broke a lock at the facility in the early hours of Monday morning. RCMP say they continue to investigate and, quote, it has not been determined whether the suspect or suspects entered the outbuilding or that anything was stolen or tampered with. But town officials aren't taking any chances.
So all those things, they add up together and can be quite frustrating. That said, we're very appreciative of the people in town who are looking out for their neighbors. They realize that we can't fix this overnight.
Maintenance crews are currently in the process of removing the compromised water and sanitizing the reservoir. In the meantime, the residents of Outlook are remaining positive among the uncertainty.
Pretty good so far, yeah, upbeat. But like we know, it's only a few days, so we'll get through it. Yeah.
It's kind of ridiculous that we've come to this, but people are working together, pitching in, and helping each other out when they need to. So that's been nice to see.
The town is providing residents with water jugs as it works to resolve the issue, and community members are instructed not to use the water for any purposes or attempt to treat the water themselves.
Everybody's positive, everybody thinks, the water is going to come pretty soon. Everybody has been helpful, there's been resources to the town, so we're just grateful.
There is no exact time as to when the community's water will be back to normal. However, officials have expressed that it will take a few more days at the earliest. Investigators say anyone who witnessed suspicious activity in the area is asked to contact police or Crime Stoppers. Hallie Mandrick, CTV News, Outlook.
Daryl, a number of drivers caught DUI in a recent blitz.
Yeah, 106 Saskatchewan drivers under the influence of drug or alcohol, Jeremy, in recent enforcement operations. From the 1st to the 7th of December, Saskatchewan RCMP traffic operations were conducted around the province as part of National Safe Driving Week and National Impaired Driving Enforcement Day. During the week, officers stopped 4,446 vehicles, issued 1,161 citations, and removed 106 drivers from the road. 930 drivers were cited for speeding or aggressive driving, 126 for distracted driving, which seems remarkably low, and 105 for driving without a seatbelt. RCMP say impairment was a factor in 30% of all fatal collisions on Saskatchewan roads in 2025. Support for a new pipeline going west or east from Alberta is climbing, according to a new poll. The survey shows 75% of Canadians support the construction of new pipelines to the East Coast and British Columbia. That's up by 14 points compared to this time a year ago. The Montreal Economic Institute and Ipsos also found 71% of Canadians find the approval process too long. Pollsters say the tariff war is just one of the factors.
We can look at couple of metrics, but productivity, value in terms of exportation, $1 out of 4 exported are from the oil and gas sector, and nice paying job. So with all this added value and economy, Canadians are simply understanding that.
More than 1,100 Canadians were surveyed between November 27th and December 2nd. The pollsters say the results are accurate within 3.5 percentage points, 19 times out of 20. U.S. President Donald Trump has ordered a blockade of all sanctioned oil tankers into Venezuela, ramping up pressure on the country's authoritarian leader, Nicolas Maduro. Venezuela's government this morning denouncing the blockade as warmongering threats. Trump posting on social media alleging Venezuela is using oil to, quote, finance themselves, drug terrorism, human trafficking, murder, and kidnapping for the theft of our many assets and many of the other reasons, including terrorism, drug smuggling, and human trafficking. The Venezuelan regime has been designated a foreign terrorist organization, end quote. You can read the full thing on his website. Trump then went on to say he's ordering a total and complete blockade of all sanctioned oil tankers going into and out of Venezuela. The move comes after U.S. forces last week seized an oil tanker off Venezuela's coast, an unusual move that followed a buildup of military forces in the region. The U.S. also recently carried out deadly strikes on alleged Venezuelan drug smuggling boats. An update this morning on ticket prices for the FIFA World Cup. Outrage over the cost of tickets for the upcoming World Cup prompted FIFA to release discounted tickets Tuesday to participating countries and their fans. Canada Soccer says its tickets will cost $80 each, much better than the $1,000+, and will go to Canadian supporters, groups, and voyageurs. The Moose Jaw Warriors snapped their 6-game winless streak last night.
Here's Semenuk, backdoor, Lechois scores!
Mathieu Lajoie got the party started just 2 minutes in. The offense kept clicking. The Warriors beat the Kelowna Rockets 6-2 last night. That's their last game before the Christmas break. Travel not recommended on Highway 1 right now. That level is expanding as we go from west to east as that storm tracks across your radar.
That's right. Travel is not going to be recommended in many places on the Trans-Canada Highway today. So I will suggest moving those travel plans if you are planning to hit the road today. And we're not just talking about the snow or the freezing rain. Environment Canada also warning us about the winds. Got to pay attention to this, especially because it's not very often that we start to see those purple colors popping up on our wind gust board here. So right down in that southwest corner in areas around Swift Current, we could be seeing winds up to about 80 kilometers per hour. Also seeing some of those red colors up near Saskatoon. We're seeing the least amount of winds this afternoon around Estevan. That's going to be coming later on into the evening hours. So you're not exactly free and clear from those winds just because you're not lighting up as much as the other areas. It's just going to be later on. We also have to talk about the blizzard that's on its way. This morning, the system is not quite as big, but it's already potent enough to be causing some issues out on those roads. The green indicating the rain, the pink, the freezing rain, and the purple, the flurries. It's going to be heading right over top of Regina and then right over top of the Parkland region. However, we start to see into the afternoon the area that is bringing flurries a lot bigger around Saskatoon and Yorkton. Traveling down to the south, we do still see some of that rain until later on in the evening where it just turns to snow. It is going to be quite the blizzard, folks. We're going to be seeing the snow blowing with those higher winds across the highways. It's going to be impacting us into those overnight hours as well, all the way until tomorrow morning, where we see the last bit of that system exiting the province through Estevan there. And by about 6 a.m. tomorrow, we should be free and clear from that snow. Now let's continue on and talk about how much you can expect. The most we're seeing on our radar is falling around the Yorkton area, up to about 35 centimeters of snow by the end of the day today. About 12 to 13 centimeters expected right now for areas between Saskatoon and Regina. About 13 centimeters expected today for Moose Jaw, and about 11 expected for Swift Current. As we continue on until tomorrow morning, that's when Estevan is going to be getting those numbers shooting up. So by tomorrow morning, about 9 centimeters expected down in that southeast corner. Now, the temperature is not so bad. As you look at these numbers, keep in mind that the average is about -8 to -9. So temperatures are going to be quite a bit above that seasonal average for areas down towards the south. 2 degrees for Swift Current, 2 degrees for Moose Jaw and Weyburn as well as Estevan. 0 degrees this afternoon for Regina and -13 for Saskatoon. Now, if you're wondering just how normal this is a look at our almanac. So average this time of year about -8.2 for Regina, 9.6 for Saskatoon. Last year in Regina it was -13.7. In Saskatoon it was -19.9. So the temperatures are slightly improved from what we saw yesterday. The record, though, back in 1997 in Regina was 10.0, and back in 1893 that was 6.7 in Saskatoon. Time now for a look at your rural forecast, where a lot of places in the province are going to be seeing stronger winds today, as well as that snow falling. Watrous -13 with those blizzard-like conditions, -12 for Wynyard and -6 for Outlook. Down towards the south, we are seeing some more rain and freezing rain to start off the day. Into the later parts of the day, we are going to be seeing some more of that snow, but better temperatures. 6 degrees for Maple Creek, 4 degrees for Rockland, 0 degrees for Pilot Butte, and -1 for Carlisle. Keep in mind, if you are waking up with us from that southwest corner, you're going to be seeing winds up to about 80 kilometers per hour today. Let's take a look at Hafford, where internet plans up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel. -17 is where we will be hovering around those afternoon hours. Blizzard-like conditions and northeast winds coming in between 50 to 70 kilometers per hour.
Some of the best curlers in the world are waking up in Saskatoon this morning. Our curling guy, Blair Farthing, has the details.
We are back here, joined now by Emma Miskew, of course, a member of Team Homan, heading to the Olympics once again. Thanks for joining us here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's exciting to be here.
So big event here in Saskatoon, Grand Slam of curling. What are your thoughts heading into it?
Yeah, it's nice to be back on the ice. We've had a couple weeks off since winning the trials, and to be back at a Grand Slam and with all the great competition here, it's going to be good prep heading into the Olympics.
On that note, a lot of the teams competing here are teams you will see at the Olympics, like Tirinzoni, for example. Do you look at an event like this as kind of a test run to get ready for something like the Olympics?
I mean, the rules are a little different. It's like 8 ends versus 10 ends at the Olympics. But we see these teams all the time. This is nothing new. It's not like a one-time test event, but it's always nice just to get good competition and real games, and it's not just practice. And so we'll just take every game, every shot, try to get as much information as we can out of it so that we are in tip-top shape by February.
You've been to the Olympics before, so you're heading to another one coming up here in Italy. What are you thinking heading into that? Are you at ease, I guess, because you've done this before, or is there extra pressure?
No, I think that it's nice to go back with some more information this time. It's very overwhelming when it's your first Olympics, and so Rachel and I are really trying to share all the information that we learned from our first Olympics in 2018, just to like kind of ease the minds of our teammates who are going for their first time, and share anything that we can so that we're all prepared the best that we can be. I think just having that learning opportunity of being there and knowing how many distractions there are and everything that happens and how overwhelming it is just helpful to know, and just what's different from a Worlds. And there are differences with all the other sports that are going on there and the extra media, so we're sharing everything that we can, and I think we'll be better prepared this time.
Good stuff. All right, well, best of luck here in Saskatoon and at the Olympics, of course.
Thank you so much.
All right, coming up in just a little bit, we'll catch up with Brad Jacobs.
According to recent data, it turns out romantic movies are out, those Christmas movies, and horror is in for holiday comfort. The Writers Guild of Canada asked 1,000 people which Canadian-written holiday classics they will watch this holiday season, and the 1974 slasher film Black Christmas topped the list. It also asked
never heard of this.
I've not either. Which plots may be interested in being made about a holiday movie, and a romance between our Prime Minister and a pop star didn't rank very high. Only 16.4% of Canadians approved of that storyline being made into a movie. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah. Why do we need that on for a holiday movie?
I don't know.
I'd
They
be
make holiday movies out
shocked
of
if
everything.
movies with that plot have not already been made multiple times.
Usually it's a prince or princess of Genovia or some country.
No, it's like a big city girl going back to her hometown.
There's always that,
and falling in love with the guy from the local coffee shop.
Yeah. Shout out to all the big city guys who are going to lose to lumberjacks this Christmas season.
Sorry.
We're talking about your favorite Christmas carols or songs. Those are in a lot of those Hallmark movies, those holiday movies.
Yeah, a few good answers to start us off so far. Over to the text line now. Let's take us to number one, Drummer Boy, Peace on Earth, Bing Crosby and David Bowie. Lynn also saying, Please Come Home for Christmas by the Eagles. Tanya wrote in and said, I have a lot of Christmas songs I like, but Rocking Around the Christmas Tree always gets me going. And the Garth Brooks song, The Gift, is the one that will always make me cry. Some love on our text line also going out to Old Toy Trains. I knew it would be getting some more love. Thank you, Phil from Saskatoon. My favorite answer so far. Also, next would be Christmas Carol and Metro's 11 Days from Christmas coming in on the text line from Rob.
Metro.
One more answer from Heather on X this morning. She said, Oh Holy Night, a classic.
No Bob and Doug McKenzie's 12 Days of Christmas yet.
Not yet, but there's still time.
There is still time. How do we get those answers in?
Well, we want to hear from you. Text your name and your answer to 10400. Standard message rates may apply, or scan that QR code on your screen right now. Let us know. What's your favorite Christmas carol or song?
Morning Mysteries next. I bet it's a song.
Hello there, Kara Wagland inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Tuesday. And for it, we take you to Pittsburgh. Oilers and Penguins, we've seen this one before. Connor McDavid picking up a whole lot of speed past center ice. Blows by all four Pittsburgh defenders. Undresses his former teammate Stuart Skinner. I mean, just an unbelievable goal from McDavid, using that elite speed we know and love to break through and finish off in style. Add that to his already long highlight reel. It is your must-see moment from Tuesday. And coming up tonight on TSN, we have World Juniors pre-competition action. We have Canada taking on Sweden. Puck drop for that one gets underway at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. That's all for now from SportsCenter. Have a great day.
All right, right, it is time for your morning mystery. It is a character today. Play along with us at home. 3 clues. Guess the right answer. Clue number 1. This Chicago story was written in 1939 for Chicago-based Montgomery Ward department stores. That's clue number 1. Clue number 2, the author, Robert May, based it on his childhood. He was taunted by other children for being the smallest boy in class. Sound familiar yet?
Yep, sounding familiar.
And clue 3, may be considered Rollo and Reginald as the name for the main character before settling on Rudolph. What is your answer? I'm not
Do we
even
need that last few words?
You know, I'm not even going to write mine. Just here we go. I'll just...
Oh, good.
I'm just going to...
We're getting a new friend on the set here.
We got a prop. I'm going to go with Rudolph.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Cursive.
Oh, you write like a doctor, JD. Is that a prescription or an answer to the morning mysteries? Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Sing along at home.
Studio consideration provided by Father's Furniture, specializing in quality Canadian-made furniture.
All right, time for a look at your school day forecast, brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zones safe. If you're heading out to catch the bus in Regina, -5. We haven't started to see any of that precipitation quite yet, but we have seen some flakes so far this morning in the Saskatoon area. We're waking up to -15 right now. Winds not quite as strong as what we are going to be seeing in the afternoon when that blizzard hits by lunchtime in Regina. -1, still seeing some of that rain transitioning to those flurries. -1 also by final bell. Winds going up to about 60 kilometers per hour. By lunchtime in Saskatoon, still seeing some of those flurries coming down, -13 and -14 by lunch. Still seeing that blowing snow blizzard. As we go to break, here's a look at those gas prices. In Regina, 124.9 is the common price. The lowest you might find, though, is 102.9. In Saskatoon, the common price, 113.9. The lowest you might find is 107.9. Over to the farm markets now, where we find the street price of canola at 536.32 per ton and the futures price at 611.30 per ton. Amber Durham wheat now at 282.27 per ton and red spring wheat at 241.70 per ton. And the Canadian dollar trading up this morning. It's now at 72.74 cents US. When we come back, the most popular dog names of 2025. Stay with us.
Welcome to your morning, Saskatchewan. It is 7:30. Roads continue to deteriorate out there, and the forecast doesn't look great for the next couple of hours. We'll get to Kaylee and Sawaski in just a moment. We begin with new signs. The world's longest undefended border is getting unfriendlier. A first-hand account of a Canadian traveler sharing his experiences with CTV News about being detained on his way to the United States. And the data shows a surge in the number of Canadians, including children, held by U.S. authorities. Heather Wright reports.
This is North America's busiest border crossing, the Ambassador Bridge, which connects Windsor and Detroit. It's where Greg Williams was detained by U.S. Border Patrol last month as he tried to enter the United States with his wife and dad.
And then it was turn the car off, hands on the dash, and within seconds there were 15 agents surrounding the car.
Williams says he was handcuffed and taken into a small room inside the nearby building. He was photographed and fingerprinted before ever knowing why he was being detained.
I wasn't worrying about being sent to some, Ecuadorian supermax, which is very much white privilege of me, that it's like I don't have to worry about those things, but that's also like nobody should.
Turns out there's another Greg Williams with some sort of a record that prompted the detention of this Greg Williams, an Ontario musician.
This happened because I have the same name, and that's crazy.
Williams was released after a couple of hours, but his story highlights the growing number of Canadians being caught up in the immigration crackdown underway south of the border. More than 200 Canadians have spent time in ICE custody at some point since January, compared with 137 detained in 2024. Records show at least 6 children were among those detained. While a handful of Canadians had felony convictions or other criminal records, the vast majority were picked up for visa violations or less serious infractions, which experts say marks a major shift in policy.
For the most part, from what I've seen, we're looking at very minor criminal infractions, but sufficient to attract the radar of U.S. enforcement.
Experts say in the past, Canadians would have been denied entry into the United States or sent back to Canada, but are being detained more frequently.
Ottawa's new Buy Canadian policy now in effect.
What we're looking for is meaningful economic activity and Canadian content as we evaluate contracts and bids for federal contracts.
The policy puts priority on Canadian products and workers for federal contracts. To count as a Canadian supplier, a company needs to have more than an address in the country, needs to have meaningful economic activity in Canada. First phase of the policy applies to contracts worth $25 million or more. A woman in British Columbia was killed when she was hit by a falling tree, as people are being warned about dangerous conditions caused by all that rain we've been talking about and now wind.
It's been raining. We've been drenched for the past number of days with more rain expected. The ground's a lot softer, a lot easier for trees to essentially walk out of the ground when the wind hits.
Police say the woman was killed on Monday in Chilliwack as she was walking with her 2 children. Rain and wind this week have added to problems in the Fraser Valley. People are being told to be careful around strong currents and high water levels. Downed hydro lines are also a lingering concern in the region. Thousands of BC Hydro customers are still affected. Nick Reiner is expected to make his first court appearance today to face murder charges in the death of his parents.
Every single inmate goes through a medical clearance before they can be transported to court. Every one of them. Okay. And that's a process. It's just a procedural issue. And he has not yet been medically cleared.
Nick Reiner is facing 2 counts of first-degree murder. Officials say he was arrested without incident a few hours after the bodies of Rob and Michelle were found inside their home. Police say a knife was used in the killings, but didn't confirm if a murder weapon was found. There is also no word on a possible motive. If convicted, the charges carry a life sentence or the death penalty. Police have now released a new enhanced video of the suspect wanted in the Brown University shooting. Investigators are asking the public to pay attention to body movements and the posture of the suspects. Seen here, the shooting left 2 students dead and 9 others injured at the school in Rhode Island. A person of interest was detained earlier in connection with the attack and has now been cleared. Skate Canada blocking events in Alberta due to its law on transgender athletes.
This is what organizations have warned about, and really this is an incredible hit to Alberta's economy. Tourism and sport is really important in Alberta.
Alberta's law blocks transgender athletes aged 12 and up from competing in amateur sports. Skate Canada will only stop holding national and international events in the province. Figure skaters from Alberta can still compete in future Skate Canada events. More Canadians choosing to give experiences rather than physical gifts this Christmas. That's according to a survey by real estate firm JLL, which polled 1,000 Canadians nationwide. Survey found people are spending more on experience gifts than in any other previous year. On average, respondents plan to spend more than a third of their budget on experience and entertainment.
People have done a lot of spending coming out of COVID on fashion items. They've done a lot of spending on their homes. I think this is now, we're a couple years past the pandemic affecting our daily lives. And more people are seeing the opportunity to get that intrinsic reward for their consumer spending.
The report also says lower-income Canadians are cutting back on spending. Higher-income earners plan to spend more on experience gifts, while middle-income households land in the middle. Another signing for the Saskatchewan Roughriders, an American receiver this time.
The center still is rookie Michael Juergens. Ball looks to fade left side and back left to the end zone. Touchdown!
Malik Noel spent time with the NFL's Minnesota Vikings, Green Bay Packers, and San Francisco 49ers, although he never saw regular season game action. In 5 seasons with Kansas State in NCAA action, he caught 14 touchdowns and scored 3 kickoff returns. DNA My Dog has released the most popular dog names of 2025. For females, the top 5 are Bella, Daisy, Luna, Lucy, and Maggie, followed by Lily, Mabel, Nala, and Olive, along with Piper. Meanwhile, for the male dogs, it's Charlie Bear, Milo, not Charlie Bear, that's a fun name. Charlie, Bear, Milo, Buddy, and Cooper. You could also give honorable mention to Gunner, Hank, Henry, Max, and Murphy. DNA My Dog is sharing some insights as well, saying vintage names like Mabel and Hank are making a major comeback, as well as nature-inspired choices like Daisy and Lily. They also note short and easily recognizable names remain popular, especially if you're trying to actually train your dog. Let's get to the Weather Center and let's talk about those road conditions again. That blue line, that's travel not recommended due to ice, is expanding as it gets closer and closer to Moose Jaw, Kayleen.
Yeah, and we're expecting that to keep expanding from west to east as we start to see this system with a whole lot of snow on the way move in through the province. Now, Environment Canada is warning us about 3 things this morning. We have to know about the increased winds. We have to know about the freezing rain down towards the south and really all across central and southern Saskatchewan, the snow that's on the way for later. Let's start with the winds, though, particularly down in the southwest is where we're going to be seeing the strongest winds today. That Trans-Canada Highway right around Swift Current could be seeing those winds up to about 80 kilometers per hour. It's not going to be an ideal day to be traveling on that Trans-Canada Highway because, of course, we're not just talking about the winds. We're also talking about the freezing rain that Swift Current has already seen this morning. That's why we're starting to see travel not recommended around the Swift Current area. Regina going to start seeing that freezing rain very shortly here as well. Saskatoon has already seen some flakes this morning, but it's going to be seeing some more as we make our way into the afternoon hours. The system is really going to be expanding across central Saskatchewan. Down towards the south, we're seeing mainly rain until the later part of the afternoon. When the rain disappears, temperatures are going down and we're going to see the flurries. Saskatoon, Yorkton, Regina, Swift Current, all expecting to be blanketed with snow at the time around 5:15. So you're going to be coming home from work with a blizzard-like condition. Maybe you can use this as an excuse to say, hey, boss, I got to go home a little bit earlier this afternoon. Now, we are also talking about it impacting us overnight. Regina still going to be seeing some of those flurries, Yorkton. And then the last little piece of the system heading right over top of Estevan. This is going to be about 5:45 tomorrow morning. By about 6, we do see it completely exiting the province. So just be prepared today for the higher winds, the flurries, and of course the freezing rain down towards the south. Temperatures not so bad though, except for way up north in Stony Rapids. -41 right now. Other than that, not so bad. -15 in Prince Albert, -16 in Melfort, -15 in Hudson Bay. Down towards the south, still seeing some of those positive integers. 3 degrees in East End, 2 degrees in Swift Current and Assiniboia. -3 now, though, in Weyburn. So temperatures are going down. 0 degrees in Estevan. Later on this afternoon, along with that freezing rain and flurries, and of course the higher winds, 2 degrees for Swift Current, Moose Jaw, Weyburn, and Estevan. -9 for Yorkton, -13 for Saskatoon, and 0 degrees for Regina. Tomorrow, we see this rush of Arctic air following this system with the precipitation, dropping us down to about -21 tomorrow with a mix of sun and cloud, and then some more flurries on the way for Regina on Friday, mainly falling in the morning hours, pushing off for the later afternoon, -6 before we get colder again for the weekend. In Saskatoon, pretty similar. So Arctic air moving in tomorrow, -22, but mainly sunny skies tomorrow, -13 on Friday, again seeing some more of those flurries, -25 though on Saturday and -25 on Sunday. So although we're not expecting to see more of the snow on the weekend, it is going to be very cold.
Harbor Rescue Mission has been serving Regina for 35 years, providing hope and support to vulnerable members of the community. Joining us now for more information on that anniversary and how you can help them this holiday season is Executive Director Joe Miller. Good morning, Joe. Thank you for being here.
Oh, thanks so much for having me. It's a pleasure.
It's our pleasure. We're so excited to chat with you here this morning. So how have you seen the mission evolve over those 3.5 decades?
35 years is a long time. Originally, I think Jerry Carroll started with a excuse me, a milk crate and a pot of coffee and some sandwiches. And today we're serving 340 people food a day. We're sheltering. We have a daycare. It's growing substantially.
Incredible. And in a year where many are facing much higher living costs,
yes.
How have you seen that need increase for your services?
We're seeing more people. I think people are having to choose between things like paying their utilities, paying your rent, buying food. So more people through our doors. Some different people, newcomers, working, I don't like to use the word working poor, but people with lower income. They're using our services more. And of course, inflation, everything's costing more. It costs us a lot more to put that plate of food on the table.
Absolutely. And on that same note, how do financial donations help you meet those immediate needs?
Financial donations are significant. I mean, we simply couldn't do what we do without the help of others within the community, with help from people, churches, businesses, all of that. Last year's postal strike, we lost about $250,000 to $300,000. You never get that back. This year it's a rotating strike, but our numbers are still down. So all the financial support we can get, we will happily take it.
All right. And the annual Christmas holiday meal is coming up. How can people be a part of this? How can they donate?
We're running our community meal on December 23rd at 1632 Angus Street. And the hours will be 3 to 6, so show up anywhere in between there. It's a big event for a lot of the people that we serve. This is kind of their family event. This is where they go and they know people and they can sit down and chat and have a good plate of food, have some turkey, stuffing, all of those things that I take for granted, that I think a lot of people take for granted. Turkeys, we need turkeys. We need lots of them. It takes about 60, 70 turkeys to do this one meal. So anyone can drop off a turkey at that same location, 1632 on Angus Street. And financial donations are always welcome online, shrmsk.com.
Great. Well, thank you so much. It was a pleasure to chat with you here this morning.
You too. Thanks so much for having me.
Here's what's happening in our community. The Christmas bake sale is on Saturday, December 20th at 12 p.m. in Regina. The Lieutenant Governor's New Year's Day levy is on January 1st at 1 p.m. It's being held on the 4600 block of Dooney Avenue, and for more information, you can go to itgov.sk.ca. If you'd like your event shown here, you can send us an email at reginacommunity@bellmedia.ca with at least 2 weeks' notice.
She said, take your time, what's the rush? I said, baby, I'm a dog, I'm a mutt.
Bad habit, but I keep coming back like a revolver.
Wardrobe consideration by Colin O'Brien Man's Shop, defining contemporary style for over 20 years.
President Donald Trump has ordered a blockade of sanctioned oil tankers going into and leaving Venezuela, ratcheting up pressure on Caracas as the U.S. builds up its military presence in the region. Venezuela is completely surrounded by the largest armada ever assembled in the history of South America. That's what Trump wrote on social media on Tuesday. The move boosted oil and metals prices along with stocks in Europe. Ottawa and Ontario are set to sign a deal Thursday that will reduce the regulatory burden on large projects, including the road to the Ring of Fire, according to the Canadian press. Provincial and federal government sources, who are not allowed to speak publicly, say Ottawa has agreed to eliminate any repetitive work on its impact assessments on large projects. A source in the Premier's office, who's not allowed to speak publicly about the yet-to-be-announced deal, says the changes will dramatically speed up big projects across the province, including roads, highways, and mines. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
It's December 17th, and we have these milestones to share with you. We'll start off with a big happy birthday going out to Nicole. We hope you have a fabulous day with lots of love from everyone around you. This shout out coming from your mother-in-law, Sherry. And turning 11 years old today is Avery. Happy birthday to you. All the best in the year ahead from your mom, dad, and Emery. And 1 year older than that, happy birthday to Amelia, marking her 12th birthday today. Your mom sent in this photo to help start the celebrations this morning. Enjoy your day. If you have anything that you would like to celebrate, send us your milestones to Your Morning Saskatchewan at ctv.ca. You can also scan that QR code on your screen right now. Please make sure you send those in one day in advance.
Milestones, brought to you in part by Hardin & House Chocolates, because tradition isn't just what you do, it's what you share. Studio decorating provided by Urban Farm Girl Boutique and Home Decor.
Tomorrow morning, I might just lace up my skates and just skate to work.
It's not a bad idea. I think you'll have more. You might have to do some like shoveling for it first, but like more freezing rain.
Just like the outdoor rink,
the
right?
Silver lining.
Yeah, exactly.
Everywhere's an outdoor rink now. Yeah. That's the Canadian attitude.
What's the next Christmas song?
Our new motto out there. Next Christmas song is, you know what, it's going to be coming up after 8 o'clock here. We've had quite a few today because as we get closer to Christmas, a week and a day out now, we are playing more and more Christmas songs, and that is good news because each and every one of those is another entry to win some platinum standing passes to Country Thunder. So get ready, fire us up with the iHeartRadio app. That next song could be your winning way in. And speaking of Country Thunder, Riley Green going to be doing his first acting gig. We'll get you some more details coming up in your Country Minute just after 8.
I'm still stuck on the fact that somebody spent a massive amount of money to put Ovechkin figure fatheads, is that what they're called, on the seats? Wild.
Full cardboard cutouts.
Wild.
Go check out the picture on our Facebook page too. But yeah, just 8 of them. All different reactions and stuff. I was sitting close to a very early Ovi, probably like 2nd, 3rd season.
Nice. I would do that with Kayleen fatheads, but we would be in the upper echelon, like the big, nobody would even see them.
You'd be standing outside of the arena. You spend all the money on the freaking cardboard cutouts.
I'm currently scared of current day Kayleen. I don't know if I want to sit next to first day Kayleen. See you tomorrow.
See you then.
You're
says
afraid
for
of
good
me,
reason.
Hey? Yeah, for good reason.
Yeah,
tell them what you saw.
Yeah, exactly. All right, what's going on?
All right, well, here's a tip on how to make the most mundane chore seem fun. Just add lights. See, now it's a party.
Yeah.
This mom didn't realize until it was in the wash that her toddler's rain boots lit up.
Yep.
Turned a boring laundry day into a dance party.
Jeremy, what you and the viewers at home did not see was during the break, our set was basically doing this. White lights, not colorful lights. But we had a strobe party going on over here.
That's right. So Daryl was reading the news. I came in, there was flashing lights, and I said, this is kind of fun.
She walks over, she's like,
this is fun. I was taking a video, I was dancing.
I got a video of you taking a video. These cute pumpkins are looking for homes.
Roll it out into the pasture. Pick the best one from the batch.
What a gourd way to get adoptables.
Oh.
Cute. Utah.
Look at those faces.
There you
Jigsaw.
go. Pearl. These are much better names than the Humane Society is going to get when they name dogs after us.
I'm really excited.
Although I think Jeremy the Pooch is going to go first. Time out. We're back after this.
Nice.
Welcome to your Wednesday. It's December 17th.
We're calling on this minister and this premier to finally step up and act against illegal foreign farmland ownership. We're calling specifically for them to launch an independent public inquiry to get into to the bottom of this issue.
The NDP in this province renewing its call for an investigation into foreign farmland ownership.
This case is heartbreaking and deeply personal, not only for the Reiner family and their loved ones, but for our entire city.
First-degree murder charges being laid against Nick Reiner for the murder of his parents, Rob and Michelle.
But I think the city is looking forward to a new use for this location. Because we haven't been in there, it doesn't really offer a lot to the community and it doesn't offer a lot for civic operations. So with a new use, it could revitalize that area.
The new year will mark an end of an era for Saskatoon's bus barn. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to your morning, Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Good morning. Happy Wednesday.
Just commiserating on the fact that I forgot to write in anything in that third headline.
And it comes up as headline, and then I go in his ear and I go headline.
Banner text.
Headline, banner text.
If you're in my position, you feel immediate shame. Let's take a look at the roads out there because that's the real story on the day. Blue indicates travel not recommended due to ice this morning. That pink line that you're seeing below that is snow-covered roads. Yellow is winter driving conditions, and this is just expanding as the show goes on from west to east.
So we've actually started to see not just regular freezing rain. We're seeing ice pellets falling from the sky this morning. Trans-Canada Highway, not recommended if you're heading out to travel there today.
What a gift as we start the holiday travel season.
Yeah, and that's just the morning. We have to talk about the blizzard later on in the afternoon in just a few minutes.
Blizzard warnings. We got extra time for weather. Let's get to that in just a moment. First, we'll start with those charges being laid against the surviving suspect in Sunday's mass shooting at Bondi Beach.
On the 22nd and 23rd of December, the government will call back the New South Wales Parliament to deal with urgent legislation that we believe is required pre-Christmas to keep the community safe and ensure there's unambiguous laws in place when it comes to public safety.
One of the reforms up for debate is the proposed limit on the number of firearms a licensed person can own. We know one of the two shooters accused of killing 15 people had his firearms license and legally owned 6 guns. As for the surviving suspect, the 24-year-old charged after waking up from a coma in Sydney. Charges include 15 counts of murder, 40 counts of causing harm with the intent to murder, along with a terror charge. Authorities say the attack was inspired by the Islamic State group. The NDP has renewed its call for an investigation into foreign farmland ownership in the province. The appeal is being made to the newly appointed Agriculture Minister David Merritt, who is now back in that position after a brief stint in highways. The NDP is echoing concerns from some producers that illegal transactions may be slipping past the government's review process. Previous minister says there's no evidence to support that claim. The NDP hope the new minister will take a look.
We're calling on this minister and this premier to finally step up and act against illegal foreign farmland ownership. We're calling specifically for them to launch an independent public inquiry to get into to the bottom of this issue.
Or high non-compliance.
The government says a review by the provincial auditor found no instances of unauthorized foreign ownership of farmland and that appropriate safeguards are in place. Town of Outlook, Saskatchewan, town near and dear to my heart. My great-grandma lived there for years and years. Currently under a state of local emergency. Jeremy, why?
Well, residents have been without water in Outlook, Daryl, for more than 24 hours now because of a potential break-in at the town's treated water reservoir. RCMP say an unknown individual or individuals broke a lock at the facility in the early hours of Monday morning. Maintenance crews are in the process of removing the compromised water and sanitizing the reservoir. The town's providing residents with water jugs as it works to resolve the issue. Community members are instructed not to use the water for any purpose or even attempt to treat the water themselves.
It's kind of ridiculous that we've come to this, but
people are working together, pitching in, and helping each other out when they need to. So that's been nice to see.
Anyone with any security footage of suspicious activity in the area is asked to contact police or Crime Stoppers. The new year will mark the end of an era for Saskatoon's bus barns. The former home of Saskatoon's transit fleet in Caswell Hills set to meet the wrecking ball. Bus barns date back to 1913 when they used to store streetcars. In 2017, the city moved transit to the Civic Operations Center near Montgomery Place. The city says the now vacant building is too old and updating it to current safety standards would be too expensive.
But I think the city is looking forward to a new use for this location. Because we haven't been in there, it doesn't really offer a lot to the community, and it doesn't offer a lot for civic operations. So with a new use, it could revitalize that area.
The building is scheduled for demolition in the spring. And ahead of the blizzard expected today, Prairie Spirit School Division has announced all classes have been canceled. So this is the first one we're hearing about. That's for areas north and east of Saskatoon. If you have students in any Prairie Spirit School Division schools, looks like it's a snow day for you. All right, Daryl, RCMP conducting a traffic blitz earlier this month.
I could go for a snow day, Jeremy. 106 Saskatchewan drivers were caught under the influence of alcohol or drugs during a recent RCMP enforcement operation that ran from the 1st to the 7th of December. They caught a number of people. During the week, they stopped 4,416 vehicles. 1,100 people plus were issued citations. 106 drivers removed for being on the road with drugs or alcohol in their system. 930 drivers, well, they were speeding or aggressive driving. 126 were caught distracted driving, and 105 weren't wearing a seatbelt. The Saskatchewan RCMP say that impairment is a factor in 30% of all fatal road collisions in Saskatchewan in the year 2025. A woman is in hospital with life-threatening injuries after getting struck by a vehicle Tuesday morning in Regina. Police called to Cress Street near Longman Crescent intersection. Our Janelle Lipai got these photos around 7:30 in the morning. Officers determined a pickup truck struck a driver in a pickup truck, rather. Pickup trucks don't strike people. Drivers in pickup trucks strike people. Hit a woman that was trying to cross Crest Street. The driver immediately called 911. The area was closed and police continue to investigate. People in Regina are offering their condolences to the Allen family during this difficult time. His sudden passing of Trevor Allen. He's famous for a lights display in our city. Sierra D'Souza Butts with his life and legacy.
Through his light display, Trevor Allen has brought joy to thousands of onlookers every year in Regina's Lake Ridge neighborhood.
It's been a hit for the last probably 5-6 years that I've been here, and there's so many cars that come and look at the display, and they line up on the street and then they take turns and going down.
Now, these lights are part of his legacy, leaving bright and colorful memories for his family, friends, and neighbors. According to an update from his family, Allen died on December 12th. Now, support for the family is pouring in during an incredibly difficult time.
I feel for the family going through this at Christmas time, and I hope that everybody rallies around them and helps them out in any way they can.
Allen was the architect of the Allen family lights, according to the memorial social media post by his family. Since 2018, he's put on festive light displays with over 72,000 LED bulbs, whether it was to mark Christmas, Halloween, or even Remembrance Day, which he started doing to pay respects during COVID-19 shutdowns.
Down the highway of heroes.
They sent me a picture and a beautiful message to go along with it, so the response is excellent, and just getting those messages is why I do it. So,
on the family's social media page, his daughter says he was a man who loved bringing joy to people, whether through the light show or endless projects, adding he always encouraged everyone to try new things and explore their creativity. The Regina International Airport also shared their sympathy, stating, Trevor Allen was an exceptional person. He was a pillar of the organization. His presence, leadership, and compassion made a lasting impact on all of us. Trevor's legacy will live on through his family as his daughter plans on continuing the Allen family lights display in the years ahead. Sierra D'Souza Butts, CTV News, Regina.
Well, Move over, Polar Express. This fantasy flight has a direct route to the North Pole.
I gotta go to the North Pole and see Santa. We're about to land, so we need to do this one quick. Gotta see Santa. We're gonna see Santa.
I don't think they're very excited. More than 100 children from the Denver metro area had a chance to ride United Airlines' annual fantasy flight, giving kids facing medical challenges or serious injuries a day of holiday magic. Families greeted by Santa Claus and other holiday characters, of course. Volunteers who helped make the magic happen say seeing the smiles on the children's faces brings them so much joy. I believe it does. What doesn't bring us joy this morning, especially if you have a commute, is that blue line. That is travel not recommended. That's a lot of Highway number 1 stretching towards Moose Jaw, Kayleen.
Yeah, and that's because of the freezing rain. So we're seeing covered roads there, not necessarily with a whole bunch of snow. It's the freezing rain and the ice pellets that we've seen so far this morning down in the southwest quarter, and that is going to be expanding later on into the afternoon hours as well. We're going to be seeing snow all the way until overnight into early tomorrow morning when that system finally does push away. Let's talk about some current conditions, though. In Regina, we're waking up to -4, some clouds right now, and winds coming in at 19 kilometers per hour. So all pretty normal right now. This is what I will call the calm before the storm. -15 in Saskatoon. We do have just a few flakes starting in the area and some northeast winds coming in at 24 kilometers per hour. Take a look at how these are going to increase, though, into the afternoon hours. It's going to be early afternoon, around noon. We see the strongest winds coming in from the United States and Alberta. We don't often see that purple color on your screen as we're seeing down in the southwest corner. So right around the Trans-Canada Highway, we're going to be seeing winds up to about 80 kilometers per hour this afternoon. Not going to be the day to want to travel on that Trans-Canada Highway. Futurecast also showing current conditions right now where we're seeing that system. So Regina is going to start seeing that freezing rain any minute here. Saskatoon going to start seeing those flurries falling a little bit stronger than what we're seeing right now into the afternoon hours. And then into the later parts of the afternoon, we see the rain disappearing from the south and it turns to snow. Saskatoon at this time around 5:45, still getting some more of those flurries. Swift Current, Regina, Yorkton, and we're actually expecting to see most of the snow falling around the Parkland region there. Then into the overnight hours, we see it starting to push away from Saskatoon, Swift Current, Yorkton, and Regina, still seeing some of those flurries overnight. And then the last piece of the system impacting Estevan. Again, this isn't going to be just a few flakes, folks. This is going to be blizzard conditions really impacting your day and your commute, especially on your commute home from work today. Again, keeping in mind those winds, it's not just going to be flurries, it's going to be blowing. By the end of the day today, Saskatoon about 12 centimeters of snow, Regina about 14, similar for Moose Jaw, 11 centimeters for Swift Current. But we just talked about Yorkton getting the most. Right now, we're projecting about 36 centimeters of snow today. Down around Estevan, we see that number jump up as we continue on to tomorrow morning. This is by about 7:30 a.m. Estevan will have about 9 centimeters of snow on the ground. Now, with that blowing snow blizzard today, Regina reaching a high of 0 degrees. And then we have some cold Arctic air moving in for tomorrow, dropping us down to about -21. -6 on Friday, some more snow expected. However, we are going to be seeing this a little bit earlier on in the morning and then pushing off for the later parts of the afternoon. -22 on Saturday and -18 on Sunday. In Saskatoon, -13 this afternoon. Again, some cold Arctic air moving in for tomorrow with sunny skies, though. -22, -13 on Friday with some more flurries on the way. And then Saturday and Sunday, a cold weekend, -25 on both days with a mix of sun and cloud.
December 17th, 1994, Celine Dion married René Angelil at Notre Dame Basilica in Montreal. December 17, 1992, Prime Minister Brian Mulroney signed the North American Free Trade Agreement in a ceremony on Parliament Hill. And December 17, 1990, Canada's Goods and Services Tax, GST, received royal assent, becoming law.
In case you missed it, new data finds younger music fans are turning to an old school format. Yes, vinyl record sales have risen by an average of 18% year over year for the past 5 years. The survey finds nearly 60% of Gen Z music fans say they like the aesthetic of records, with 37% using them to decorate their living spaces. Of course, Taylor Swift has provided a boost to this, as 5 of her records were among America's top 10 best-selling vinyl albums last year. So
we listen to one every night with dinner. I'm big into vinyl.
And you don't even have a streaming service, right? You have to listen to the vinyl.
I have satellite radio, but no, yeah, I don't have I'm not an Apple Music. I don't know my Spotify music age.
I do know some of my friends that decorate their houses with the vinyls, so yeah. I get that.
Well, you also can't find, you can find a little bit of cassette here and there, but you really can't find CDs anymore.
Yeah, not as much.
Well, cassettes sound bad.
Yeah, they do.
First of all.
That is true.
CDs are still okay, and vinyl, yeah, it's nice, and it looks nice. Like, the aesthetic thing is a choice, too. So.
Yeah. Question of the day, what is your favorite Christmas song or carol? Are there any French ones on there? I know you like when I speak French.
No, not necessarily, but I did have a little bit of a gasp moment when I saw our text line because, oh my goodness, Saskatchewan, we are awake this morning. So many answers. Donna saying, I'm a fan of All I Want for Christmas Is You. Mariah all the way, which is funny because last week when we asked what's your least favorite,
crapped all over Mariah.
A lot of people said that was the worst.
People get sick of it.
So
That's true.
Donna is one of the fans helping keep this as the #1 Christmas song.
Lori's got a lot of support because the Boney M Christmas album is the greatest of all time.
And Boney M has actually gotten a lot of love.
It's one of the best-selling Christmas albums ever.
Yeah. We have Sean saying Rocking Around the Christmas Tree and Jingle Bell Rock. Kristen saying the Charlie Brown Christmas album. I know that one gets a lot of love this time of year too. It kind of feels just nostalgic,
and
right?
Kim is just reading your mail every day.
Okay, so Kim, we have to address this. Every day Kim says an answer that it's almost as if she's reading my mind.
You guys need to be best friends, unless this is your burner account.
Maybe it is. Like,
is this just Janelle trolling you every day? Janelle
just giving answers that I love. Kim, please keep writing in. I am obsessed with you.
Brian from Hillsdale likes Santa Gotcha, baby.
More answers on here. Lisa saying, go tell it on the mountain, and I want a hippopotamus for Christmas.
Who doesn't want that? What do you got? You got Come All You Faithful. Alexis, thank you for writing in this morning. Nobody writing in Grandma got run over by a reindeer.
No. I can't remember the last time that we had this many submissions for Question of the Day, though. So if we didn't get to yours, I am so sorry. Please keep writing in.
Yeah.
Ooh,
we love
Alabama.
We love the support. See, and there we go. Boney M's Christmas album. The from Nipawin.
Some more love.
Thanks so much. We're back with health news after this.
It's a time of togetherness, joining with family and friends to celebrate the holidays. But it can also be a season of worry and dread.
Boundaries are really important for maintaining and protecting our peace.
Licensed therapist Jody Baumstein with Children's Healthcare of Atlanta says setting a boundary isn't about creating distance. It's about staying connected, but with healthy limits. So she says to be proactive and use clear language to set a boundary before they get together in order to avoid conflict. And keep that message consistent. For example, that a certain topic is off limits. And then accept that you can only control your response to things.
We also spend a lot of mental energy thinking about what the other person is doing, but we don't have control over them.
Baumstein says you don't have to explain why you're saying no to an invitation you feel you can't handle. Again, use clear language. But if you do go to an event, be prepared to enforce your boundaries. For example, if someone brings up a topic you've deemed off limits, you might start with a gentle reminder, but also have a plan on how you'll handle the situation if your boundary are violated.
If it comes up again, I'm going to end the conversation. Or if it comes up again, I'm going to leave the room. Or if needed, if it comes up again, I'm going to leave.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Health Report brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Blue Cross, protecting your health since 1946.
The holidays are just around the corner, and if you're a procrastinator shopper, don't worry. There are still many fun and exciting gifts available for everyone. Rachel Note is here to share some hand-picked gifts that everyone will love. Good morning, Rachel.
Good morning. I don't know
about you, but when I give a gift, I like to give something that's special and unique that you may not be able to find at home. Montreal has such an amazing community of makers. They make these artisanal, sustainable gifts that are designed to last, which is what you want when you give a gift. Whether you're shopping for, decor or beauty or food and accessories, Montreal really has that inspiration to move you past those last minute big box ideas. A lot of the shops will ship nationwide, which is perfect because you can support Canadian businesses and you can, check everybody off your list from the comfort of your home. And for those who value experiences over products or things, Montreal always delivers. It has the fine dining, the culture, and you can actually gift and bundle that with the Passport Montreal to make those memorable moments.
Well, some great ideas here, Rachel. And secondly, you have an idea for those who love their skincare routine.
When I first heard about this, I put it on my list. It's the Shark Cryo Glow Mask, and it fixes all those sort of imperfections we might not like about our skin, like our puffiness or our fine lines or wrinkles or our acne. It has blue and red LED lights that just feel amazing. It also has this Insta Chill technology that fits right under your eyes and depuffs them. It just feels great and just allows you to unplug, and it can actually clear up your skin in 4 weeks and firm up your skin in 8.
And how about some good stocking stuffer gifts as well?
I was recently in the Lee Valley, and I was blown away by all the stocking stuffers. It really made Lee Valley the destination for all my gift buying. I picked up this pocket knife. I thought it was perfect for the adventurer. I also picked up rechargeable hand warmers. I thought it was great for, early morning dog walks, or maybe you're buying for a hockey parent who's in a cold rink. And the last one is kind of a fun one, but practical. It's the Rescue Me Car Escape. It will bust your window, it'll cut your seatbelt, and it just hangs from your keychain so you can easily keep it in the car. And you can shop it all at your local Lee Valley.
Amazing. And lastly, of course, we can't not mention those fun creative gifts.
Whenever I'm shopping for a child or a kid, I like to go to Staples Canada because they have so many inspiring gifts for creativity just in time for their 20th anniversary and for the holiday season. Staples Canada is making it easy with their That Was Easy campaign. They're really getting back to what matters. They're taking the stress out of shopping so families can sort of unplug and spend some time together. I picked up this fun Exploding Kittens board game. I thought it was great for family game night. As well, for the artists in the family, they're going to love this Crayola marker airbrush art kit that'll keep them busy over the holidays. And you can shop these all at the Learn and Play section in Staples or online at staples.ca.
Great, Rachel, some great ideas. Thank you so much for spending some time with me this morning.
Thank you so much. Happy shopping.
Some of the world's best curlers are in Saskatoon right now. So we sent our curling guy, Blair Farthing, out with some of the details.
Here with Brad Jacobs, of course, one of the top curlers in the world, and he will represent Canada at the upcoming Olympics. Brad, big thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you, Blair.
So first off, how's it feel to be here in Saskatoon? Another Grand Slam of curling event here, and I guess you could call it curling country, maybe.
Yeah, you bet. It's coming out west, particularly in Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta. Curling roots are pretty deep in this area of the country, and there's lots of curling clubs. A lot of people that have been playing the sport of curling for a long time. So we've got a really well-knowledged fan base that I'm sure is going to come out and support the event. And always love coming to, I'd say, Saskatoon and Regina in particular. There's just something about it. Western people, always awesome, kind of supporting our team, and the farming community out here is big, and rural Saskatchewan farming, curling just kind of all seems to fit. So really happy to be here in Saskatoon. I think this is the first time since the Olympic trials, maybe in 2021, so it's great.
And speaking of the Olympics, obviously you will represent Canada once again. You won gold in 2014. You feel extra pressure, I guess, heading into it, trying to defend the gold, or are you more relaxed because you've been there, done that?
I think that our whole team is going to be pretty relaxed going in, and I do believe that that's because we do have an experienced squad that's all been to the Olympics before several times, and that's just kind of been our whole mantra and our mindset on this team is taking it one shot at a time, not looking too far ahead, detaching from results, and so I think we're going to go in. Of course we want to win. We want to get on that podium, worst case scenario, but we would love nothing more than to bring a gold back for Canada, so we're going to fight hard for that.
All right, well said. Of course, we're all rooting for you. Big thanks for joining us here.
Okay, thanks, buddy.
The Brandt Center in Regina, once known as the Agrodome, has been around a long time. Many Pats stars have come through, including one Dale Durkach. Between 1981 and 1985, he compiled records for the most goals, most assists, and most points in a Regina Pats career, helping the team twice reach the WHL final. The left-handed shooter, standing at about 5'5", caused problems for opponents all over the ice and was a human highlight reel on wood-finished turn-dial TV sets everywhere. He scored a whopping 84 goals in the 1982-83 season, 5 short of all-time record holder Doug Wickenheiser, who had 89 a few years earlier. He had his number 16 retired by the Pats. He scored 50 goals in less than 50 games and was the last Regina Pats player to accomplish that feat. That is, of course, until Connor Bedard came along. And if you want to check out more classic sports moments from the days of Wilco and wood-finished televisions, you can check them out on our website.
Welcome to your Morning Saskatchewan. It is 8:30 on your Wednesday, and we are continuing to look and follow the progress of our roads, and that travel not recommended from Gull Lake all the way to Moose Jaw basically has now turned into a road closed from just beyond Swift Current, almost at Herbert, right up to about the Caronport area. There are 2 motor vehicle collisions, so this is what could happen if you disobey the travel not recommended recommendations. We will have more on your weather coming up in just a few moments as that storm moves its way from Alberta right on into our area. In news, we go to the latest on the murders of Rob and Michelle Reiner. Their son Nick has now formally been charged with their killings, charges that carry the possibility of the death penalty if convicted. Trevor Alt reports.
This morning, we're seeing new video of the moment Nick Reiner, son of director Rob Reiner, was taken into custody. Reiner seen with his hands in the air, LAPD officers and U.S. Marshals swarming into that intersection, putting Reiner on the ground and handcuffing him. Just moments before, this new video shows him inside a gas station, the scene playing out just hours after his parents were found stabbed to death. And the Los Angeles District Attorney has now charged Nick Reiner with 2 counts of first-degree murder.
These are some of the most serious charges that a DA's office can bring against anyone.
The DA says Nick Reiner killed his parents with a knife. Sources say Romy Reiner, the daughter of Rob and his wife Michelle, found the couple dead at their home Sunday with stab wounds. According to the New York Times, a massage therapist called Romy when no one answered at the Reiners' home. Romy then came over with her roommates, went inside, and found her father's body. Earlier this morning, we spoke to longtime Reiner family friend Barry Markowitz, who worked as cinematographer on their film Being Charlie. He says he stayed with the family just 3 weeks ago.
Nick looked good the last time I was there, and he was on the upswing.
Nick has now hired high-profile defense attorney Alan Jackson, who said Tuesday Nick Reiner has not yet been medically cleared for court.
Every single inmate goes through a medical clearance before they can be transported to court. Every one of them. Okay. And that's a process. It's just a procedural issue. And he has not yet been medically cleared.
Sources say Saturday night, Nick Reiner and his father got into an argument at Conan O'Brien's holiday party, where Nick was described as acting strangely. Reiner's been open about his longtime battle with drug addiction, previously estimating he's been to rehab at least 18 times. A memorial has now been set up on his father's star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And overnight, the couple's close friends, including Billy Crystal, Martin Short, and Larry David, calling Rob and Michelle a special force together, saying in a statement to the Associated Press, there's a line from one of Rob's favorite films, It's a Wonderful Life. Each man's life touches so many other lives, and when he isn't around, he leaves an awful hole, doesn't he? You have no idea.
Trevor Alt, ABC News.
Closer to home, city budget deliberations continue in Regina. More than 80 delegates speaking over the past 2 days of discussions as a hefty tax increase looms large. Donovan Mace reports.
Regina Civic Workers Union says the city is now paying for past transgressions.
You can go back to what I'll
term is like the original sin of Pat Fiacco, starting to put in like 0% mill rate years.
The union believes years of previous cuts on the council floor have led Regina to a 15.69% forecasted mill rate increase just to maintain the services it currently provides. But Cantello says it should go even further.
Cities need to provide more for their residents, not less. That 18%, the 18.93% increase, is a vote for Regina.
But not everyone is on board.
You're going to put people on the street. End of story.
Other organizations say the forecasted tax hike is unsustainable.
Everything's going up. Everybody wants a piece of the pie. Well, there's no more pie to get. And you're looking at borrowing money from the taxpayers.
While local business advocates say an increase of this magnitude could be catastrophic.
You're putting that risk now on the businesses to have to survive that potential tax hike.
What's a reasonable mill rate do you think you could handle commercially?
I think as suggested, probably between 5 and 5.5%.
Yet the recognition vibrancy comes at a cost.
So you do support keeping those within our budget, even if it means a higher rate?
If it is aimed at downtown vibrancy, we're all in.
More than 80 delegates speaking in person in front of council over the first 2 days of deliberations, with an additional 160 written submissions as well. Councillors will now trudge into the depths of budget debate with 139 budget reduction options potentially on the table. Donovan May, CTV News, Regina.
An update now to a story we brought you earlier this week about a local university student whose goalie equipment was stolen. What happened has struck a chord across the province and our country. Carla Shinkaruk with the update.
People could, put themselves in my shoes and be like, wow, I couldn't imagine just waking up one day and then boom, I can't go play hockey.
Within hours of our story airing, Hudson Edwards and his family received numerous calls and texts and 6 offers from strangers ranging from money to equipment to replace the pricey items the family saved up to buy a few years ago. His mom, Tina Edwards, says it also struck a chord because of the strong ties hockey has to many in Saskatchewan and Canada.
We had somebody contact us from Toronto. They had seen the story, and he has some old goalie equipment that he said he would love to get out to us.
Another offer came from the Quinn Stevenson Memorial Fund. It was created in honor of a young hockey player killed by an impaired driver.
The story caught my attention instantly because we always kind of look for little things like that might fit appropriately with helping. And so it didn't take me long to find her on Facebook. And so I popped her a message last night and I offered to make a donation.
An emotional call to help came from a father in Swift Current whose son passed away. He reached out after seeing the story, offering to donate his son's goalie equipment so Hudson can keep playing hockey.
He said he's a pilot and he would even fly it out to us. That's really when I realized that, you know what, this is really not about hockey equipment anymore.
All the support has been the Christmas miracle for them.
And sometimes we think that there's no good in this world and we hear only the bad stuff. And although this was a bad thing to have happen, so much good has come out of it.
They are holding out hope that the original equipment finds its way home. The family says they're now processing the generosity and how to move forward.
A huge thank you to everybody. It means so much to me.
Carla Shinkaruk, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Some of the best curlers in the world are in Saskatoon. 32 teams taking part in the Grand Slam of Curling's Hearing Life Canadian Open at the Merlis Belcher Place. 16 men's, 16 women's rinks involved. Big names include reigning Scotties and Brier champions Rachel Homan and Brad Jacobs, who are each set to represent Canada at the upcoming Winter Games in Italy. Jacobs admits that while they're still riding high following their big Olympic curling trials victory, they're not looking ahead to the Games just yet.
We have a couple competitions here obviously in Saskatoon and one in Steinbach in the new year. So to get some good competitive games in against the best teams in the world is always nice for preparation.
The Grand Slam of Curling Hearing Life Canadian Open runs through Sunday with the women's final 11 a.m. and the men's at 3:30 p.m. Let's get to the weather center. We saw those road closures on Highway 1. This is all part of a system coming from our province of Alberta.
Yeah, and you know what? Now we're seeing the proof that when they say travel is not recommended, it means don't get out on the Trans-Canada Highway. We are already starting to see some collisions pop up on there. So definitely make sure you're checking the highway hotline before you head out, not just for travel not recommended, but also for some warnings of some closures that we're seeing on the highway hotline this morning. Radar and satellite not looking super pretty to start the day. It's going to look even worse into the afternoon, folks. We're seeing a lot of that rain and freezing rain, ice pellets coming down in parts of the province down towards the south this morning. As we head on into the later parts of the morning and afternoon, we are going to see this expanding. So Saskatoon already starting to see a few flurries this morning. Down towards the south, of course, seeing some more of that rain. The rain is going to start disappearing into the afternoon hours, and we're just going to be talking about this blizzard that's on the way. And this is because not just of the snow that's falling, but because of the strong winds that we're expecting in the province today. The snow is going to be blowing all over the roads. You're really not going to want to be traveling today. Down through Estevan, that's where we're going to start seeing the end of this blizzard. It's going to be into the early morning hours tomorrow, and it should be fully out of the province just after 6 a.m. And then we're just looking forward to that cooler Arctic air moving in tomorrow and bringing some very cold temperatures. So you might be wondering how much snow we're expecting. Most of that to be falling in the Yorkton area. 36 centimeters by about 1:30 a.m. is what we're now projecting. About 12 centimeters for Saskatoon today, about 15 for Regina, 14 for Moose Jaw. And by the end of the day today, only about 3 centimeters for Estevan. However, that number does go up as we look forward to tomorrow morning, meaning mainly the snow falling in Estevan is going to be overnight. Let's turn our attention to those winds, though. The strongest winds are going to be right along that Trans-Canada Highway there around Swift Current, and that is where we're starting to see some closures as well. So make sure you're keeping that in mind if you are heading out. Today's forecast temperatures, not really the concern. The average this time of year is about -8 to -9. So 3 degrees in Swift Current, 2 degrees for Moose Jaw, and 2 degrees for Weyburn, 3 degrees for Estevan. All those temperatures well above the seasonal average. It's just that down towards the south, the roads are not going to be ideal with that freezing rain and the snow coming later on. 0 degrees today for Regina, -21 tomorrow, though. So we just mentioned that we have some of that colder Arctic air moving in tomorrow, dropping us down in Regina to about -21, -6 expected on Friday. So temperatures improving, but we do have the snow on the way. And then it is going to be a cold weekend, -22 on Saturday and -18 on Sunday. Not expecting as much flurries on those days, just the cold temperatures. In Saskatoon, -13 today with those blizzard-like conditions, -22 on Thursday. Again, cold Arctic air dropping temperatures down significantly throughout central and southern Saskatchewan. -13 on Friday with some more snow, and a very cold weekend, -25 for Saturday and Sunday in Saskatoon.
Studio decorating provided by Urban Farm Girl Boutique and Home Decor.
Christmas is supposed to be a time of joy and celebration, but when it comes to spending time with our family or certain relatives, sometimes we're not exactly looking forward to that. Judy Wright is with Gateways Counseling and is here with some good advice. Good morning, Judy.
Good morning, Janelle.
So let's start off with a few of the issues that people struggle with this time of the year.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, we're, like you said, we're all heading into that season. We're wanting to get together with friends and families, and lots of them we really enjoy being with. And maybe there's a few of them that we struggle a bit with. And, you know, they maybe bring up a few triggers for us, or we feel uncomfortable, or it brings up some past dynamics that we've kind of got with them. So that makes it a little difficult. Or maybe we've drifted a little bit from some of our family members, and we've gone one way and they've gone another way, and our interests are quite different. So that connection can be a little hard. Or maybe we're waiting for someone that we would really like to come for Christmas, but they're deciding that they're not coming.
Absolutely. And what might escalate some of these dynamics?
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, who hosts it? Who's kind of doing the cooking, the cleaning? Who's even staying extra at your place? The weather can add to it. You know, we can eat maybe too much sugar, a little bit more alcohol kind of in it. You might find dynamics around different topics that might be political discussions that you don't want to enter in, or maybe you've got that little noisy relative that's kind of doing a little digging in your business that you just don't want them in there. There's kind of that forced closeness that happens around Christmas, the nostalgia about what it's supposed to be, and maybe it doesn't live up to that. And then maybe we have some people that are suffering from loneliness or maybe grieving.
And what is your advice for people with anxiety heading into the holiday season?
Yeah, for sure. So I think there's lots of things we can do for coping on this. What I always say is try to show up how you would like to show up, other people to show up. Try and be that person yourself. Focus on maybe those catastrophic thoughts that you're kind of thinking about, like how terrible the season is, or not really looking forward to it. Maybe do some positive coaching, like I'm going to make it through, I'm going to be okay, do some breathing, and then maybe take a look at, so how can I support myself to be more tapped up and have more reserves so I can kind of get through some of these events. So taking a look at some grounding exercises, or some, getting some exercise, watching your sleep, so that when you're showing up there, again, you've got more reserves. And then I always say, focus on your feet when you're there. So try and just kind of ground yourself, center yourself. Maybe you've got a couple little coaches you can have in the back of your head, like I said, or maybe you can kind of remind yourself that maybe you can ask questions of people, kind of keep the focus off of yourself, or have in your back pocket a couple little topics that you might want to bring up.
Absolutely.
And remind yourself it's just a few hours that you just got to get through.
For sure, Judy. Thank you so much. As always, it was a pleasure to talk with you here today.
Thanks, Janelle.
What are you going to do?
Full disclosure to the whole world, all at once.
Steven Spielberg is back. The first trailer for his new UFO movie Disclosure Day is now out. Among those phoning home, Josh O'Connor, Emily Blunt, and Colin Firth. Look for Disclosure Day in theaters June 12th.
And so it begins.
The first official trailer for season 2 of The Pit is out now. The HBO medical drama returns January 8th. Disco queen Donna Summer was posthumously inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame Monday. Summer, who wrote hits including Bad Girls and She Works Hard for the Money, passed away in 2012 at the age of 63.
Don't need to be perfect. I just wanted to feel right.
The film Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere is coming to digital. The movie, which chronicles the making of Bruce Springsteen's 1982 album Nebraska, is set to hit digital platforms on December 23rd. Disney is the parent company of 20th Century Studios and ABC News.
I'm more the great indoors type of guy.
And happy birthday to the reluctant traveler and comedic actor Eugene Levy. He turned 79 today. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. Dave Packer, ABC News.
No, I got it.
Greetings, everyone. In 2019, the Mackenzie Art Gallery was gifted a special collection of artwork containing more than 1,000 pieces, all created by Indigenous artists. Now a portion of that collection is on display in the gallery for the next several years, with pieces selected to explore Indigenous ideas of life and death and the connections between the two.
Indigenous artworks exploring transitions between space, place, and time are now on display at the Mackenzie Art Gallery. More than 200 pieces collected from across North America make up the exhibit titled Death Boat and Other Stories.
Just the difference of different artworks, the different styles, the craftsmanship, the beauty of the stories are all open to interpretation if they want, or they can ask someone and be educated on what it is.
Edmonton collectors Thomas Drouin and Alice Ladner began acquiring Indigenous art in 1992, eventually amassing more than 1,000 pieces. This collection became known as the Campbell-Macker Collection. Death Boat and Other Stories are selections from this collection. The pieces on display all range in art styles and age, with some pieces being more than 100 years old.
We don't consider artworks from the past as artifacts per se. They're still artworks. They're still telling a story. Even if they're tourist works. I've shown some of those too because they also have their importance.
A major focus of the collection was finding exquisite pieces from lesser-known artists and getting them into galleries. There are a number of recurring themes throughout the collection, including supernatural beings, animals, depictions of customary practices, and indigenous worldviews. Some of the oldest pieces are not attributed to anyone, but questions to when and where they came from have been answered.
We can identify the nations, but we don't know how old. We did have an expert come in and identify that they're very old. We do have another beadwork piece like over here, like so they're little Anishinaabe birds, and they are like 1898, 1903.
In 2016, a portion of the collection was first exhibited in Regina, and 3 years later the collection was officially gifted to the Mackenzie Art Gallery. Death Boat and Other Stories is scheduled to be shown until May 2027.
If you have a story you would like to see in this segment, here's how to reach us. You can contact me by email, and you can also watch past episodes and segments of Indigenous Circle on our CTV Regina and CTV Saskatoon websites.
Indigenous Circle is brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Indigenous Enterprise Foundation, growing the First Nation entrepreneurial spirit.
A group of Prince Albert Elementary students got to shop with a cop Tuesday, and Jasmine Peltier was invited to tag along on this retail experience.
I feel like it's this blanket because it's really soft.
Prince Albert Elementary School students have been busy Christmas shopping.
Blankets and like toys for my siblings and like chocolates for my grandmas. I'm getting like a cup for my sisters and socks for my bear and my blue truck for my little brother.
With Christmas around the corner, 20 students got to check presents for family off their shopping lists with some help from local police officers.
I feel safe and I feel special.
The kids were each given $150 to spend at the Prince Albert Canadian Tire as part of the Prince Albert Police Service's Shop with a Cop Christmas event.
It's an opportunity to connect with youth and families in our community that may not have the same opportunity as everyone else to purchase gifts and to enjoy, Christmas and with their family and sharing of gifts. So,
organizers say the annual Shop with a Cop event has been running for nearly 20 years, since 2008.
We always look forward to knowing that they're coming, greeting them at the door as soon as they come in to make that connection as well here in there, and just being able to help them to find what they're looking for, and again, finding that perfect gift for their family or their loved ones that they're buying for.
Students are selected from a total of 4 schools in both the public and Catholic school divisions. Different schools are chosen each year to participate. Jasmine Peltier, CTV News, Prince Albert.
I love stories like that.
Aren't they so wholesome?
And I think we do something similar down in Regina as well. But yeah, beautiful way to end a Wednesday show. First, we have to get to our sidebar, though. Santa has made an early Christmas delivery to the Saskatchewan Aviation Museum.
Well, as volunteers, we work pretty hard. We're not unlike Santa's little elves, so it's really nice to get recognition from the big guy because he knows how hard elves work.
Well, his sleigh is getting prepared for the big night. He opted to travel to Saskatoon in a 1952 North American Harvard Mk4 plane inside the box. Yeah, he brought with some pedal planes, one pink, one blue for the children who stopped by the museum. He even stuck around to visit with families lucky enough to be checking out the museum that day. How cool is that?
That's really neat.
I know it's for
museum is
kids,
super
but
cool.
I want to try one of those little pedal planes.
No, don't those look fun?
I think I smell a new live for you, Janelle.
Yeah.
All right.
Excellent.
What else do you got?
All right. Well, thousands of festive runners dressed up as Santa Claus for a good cause in Kosovo. People of all ages joined in to raise money for local hospitals and charities helping people living in poverty. It was also meant to be a family event, so everyone was on the move for a really great cause.
This is a good one. I like this one. Just showing a happy community coming together to celebrate the Christmas spirit.
Isn't that there's so many good people in the world like this. I love to see it. What a happy way.
Jeremy, do you happen to have a Santa costume?
No, I have a hat. I should get one. I would like it. I think they're just stylish for this time of year.
Yeah, I think it would work well. All right. Thank you so much for watching today's edition of Your Morning Saskatchewan. We're going to have another festive episode for you tomorrow. Stay with us, 6 a.m.